Ich Idiot, hab vergessen, mein Mikro anzuschalten. Nochmal von vorne, Leute. Okay, ich bin ein Trottel vor dem Herrn. Das hätte ich mir vorher auch mal denken können, aber man hört mich, glaube ich, gut. Jedenfalls, was ich sagen wollte ist, wir haben jetzt ein paar sehr interessante Punkte. Ich hoffe jedenfalls, dass sich ein paar Leute jetzt im Chat sammeln können. Es ist ja noch eine Minute, bis ich eigentlich loslegen wollte. Boah, ich bin echt so unprofessionell heute. Aber mein Kopf ist auch sonst wo. Jedenfalls, worauf ich eigentlich hinaus möchte, ist, wir haben jetzt zwei Möglichkeiten weiterzumachen und wir haben ein paar sehr interessante Enden jetzt schon gesehen. Ganz zu Beginn hatten wir ja schon das Dio-Ende, was man tatsächlich ohne irgendwelche Umwege machen kann, wo man eben nicht vorher irgendwas wissen muss. Das gleiche gilt für das Clover-Ende, das wir aber deutlich später gefunden haben. Und schließlich haben wir auch den Weg zum K-Ende gefunden. Beim Dio-Ende fassen wir schon nochmal kurz zusammen, was wir erfahren haben. Dio hat sich nicht einfach nur als ein Saboteur herausgestellt, sondern auch etwas über eine Organisation erzählt, der er angehört und dass er wohl ein Klon eines gewissen, ja, des Bruders eines Kultführers ist. Ansonsten haben wir zumindest beim Clover-Ende erfahren, Clover, die ja schon im ersten Teil vorkam, dass die zusammen mit Alice wohl zu einer geheimen Regierungsorganisation gehört und so weiter. Jetzt. Die letzten zwei VODs noch nicht durch, haben wir schon die Tenmyoji Ally Route. Die ist noch nicht da. Nee, Moment, das war das Quark-Ende. Doch, wir haben jetzt hier die Tenmyoji Route freigeschaltet. Soll ich zusammenfassen, was bei den letzten Malen passiert ist, was wir so beim K-Ende zum Beispiel erfahren haben und beim Clover-Ende, das Clover-Ende hatten wir schon beim vorletzten Mal, glaube ich. Oder vorvorletzten? Ich weiß es nicht. Aber es gab ein paar interessante Sachen. Wir haben vor allem aber festgestellt, Dio ist ein gewaltiges Arschloch. Aber so richtig. Und das war quasi, nee, das war beim Quark-Ende. Hier. Da ist es okay, wir haben noch 5 Minuten, wie kriegen wir es hin, nicht zu sterben? So in etwa. Ist jetzt auch zum Beispiel eine interessante Situation. Aber gut. Wie gesagt, was wir erfahren haben, Clover hat uns so ein bisschen was erzählt über die Organisation, der Alice und sie angehören. Das heißt, ähm, sie ist Mitglied einer Spezialeinheit von eben, naja, unter der Führung von Alice zusammen mit ihrem Bruder tatsächlich, also Snake aus dem ersten Teil. Und sie nutzt eben ihre ESPA-Fähigkeiten, um zum Beispiel Informationen an den zu übermitteln. Das Problem ist, dass sie es bisher nicht geschafft hat, irgendwie mit ihrem Bruder in Kontakt zu treten. Die Frage war dann, liegt es daran, dass es in der Nähe einen mächtigeren Esper gibt, der quasi ihre Fähigkeiten unterdrückt? Man weiß es nicht genau. Und am Ende lief es darauf hinaus, dass alle sich wegen Radical Six selbst umgebracht haben, was nicht so toll war. Dann haben wir allerdings zum Beispiel noch das K-Ende freigeschaltet. Hier war die Frage, wie kann man Phi und K retten? Wir haben zwischenzeitlich eine Sache nämlich auch im Clover-Ende erfahren, und zwar auf dem Weg dahin, dass wir ein bestimmtes Medikament gefunden haben, das als Cholinesterase-Inhibitor ein Antidot für Tubocurarin darstellt. Das letzte, woran ich mich erinnere, das ist das Sigma bezüglich Sachen zu Clover sagt und dann weißes Zeug an der Hand hatte. Das ist nicht gut, diese Sache so zu formulieren. Aber genau, das ist auch eine Sache, bei der wir uns noch fragen, was hat es damit auf sich? Denn wir wissen jetzt hier, das ist auch eine Stelle, wo wir weiterkommen können. Das hier ist halt ist der Pfad zum sogenannten Sigma-Ende. Und hier, ach nee, Quatsch, das war Antiviral Medication. Hier war das mit dem Sigma-Ende, oder? Nee, geht zum Alice-Ende. Das hier ist tatsächlich der Sigma-Pfad. So. Wo wir halt jetzt auch einen Weg gefunden haben, weil da war die Frage, okay, komm, was können wir da? Aber wir haben herausgefunden, zumindest Luna hat ja unter anderem Sachen angemerkt, dass Sigma vielleicht ein Roboter sein könnte, weil er ja. Ach ja, dann wurde er ohnmächtig und danach einarmig. Stimmt, das Zeug gab's auch. Das war ein schlechtes Ende, das wir hatten. Nicht stimmt, das war hier, das war die Sigma-Route, das ist die Alice-Route. So, jetzt haben wir es doch wieder richtig. Genau, das war das schlechte Ende bei Sigma. Und hier ist es jetzt so, dass wir rausfinden müssen, wer die Bombe gelegt hat. Jedenfalls, wir haben über das Clover-Ende herausgefunden, dass es ein Gegenmittel gibt, das man tatsächlich auch finden konnte. Und das war dann der Weg zum K-Ende, weil dann war es ja so, quasi alle sind augenscheinlich tot oder verschwunden, bis auf Kay und Phi. Dio wurde ja schon umgebracht, also man hat den ja tot in seiner Kapsel gefunden, also in diesem Treatment Pod. Und es lief dann darauf hinaus, okay, wie kann man denn jetzt die beiden retten? Und dann hieß es, Moment, es gibt dieses Antidot. Und Sigma rennt los, holt das Ding, schafft es nicht ganz rechtzeitig, also die Türen schließen sich vor denen. Aber er schafft es dann halt, Phi noch zu retten. Und danach gibt es eine kleine, sagen wir mal, leicht betäubte Diskussion noch mit Kay, weil ihm so ein bisschen was auffällt, nämlich, dass das Schloss auf Kays Anzug auf offen stand. Dann stellt sich heraus, dass Kay eigentlich Dio umgebracht hat und seine Rüstung abnehmen konnte, weil er diesen Schlüssel zur Verfügung hatte. Und ganz am Ende wird Kay die Maske abgenommen und er hat Sigmas Gesicht. Und er hat etwas anderes noch erwähnt, und zwar, er hat jemandem versprochen, also ihr, man weiß nur nicht, wer sie sein soll, dass er Sigma in einem gewissen Moment etwas sagt, und dann hat er uns ein Passwort genannt. Ansonsten gab es aber auch noch eine andere Kleinigkeit, und zwar, dass Sigma sagte, dass er wohl hier war und dass diese alte Frau hier hingekommen ist, die für ihn wie eine Mutter war. Das war auch der Grund, warum er Dio umgebracht hat. Die Frage ist jetzt, wer ist die alte Frau und was hat er hier gemacht? Er sagte ja, er war quasi mit seinem Vater hier. Diese alte Frau kam später dazu. Das ist jetzt eine sehr interessante Frage, wie es da weitergeht. Und vor allem, wie kann es sein, dass er Sigmas Gesicht hat? Dann haben wir allerdings auch noch auf einem gewissen Weg was herausgefunden, wo wir hängen geblieben sind, sage ich mal. War das hier? Ja, genau, das war hier. Da haben wir zum Beispiel herausgefunden, wie Radical Six funktioniert, dass das eben Leute in den Selbstmord treibt und dass es hieß, ja, eine Behandlungsmethode bzw. ein Gegenmittel, das wird man so in 10 bis 20 Jahren also wahrscheinlich fertigstellen. Und da stellt man sich jetzt natürlich die Frage, wie viel Zeit ist denn bitte vergangen, weil da wird schon von dem Ausbruch erzählt. Und dieser Ausbruch hat wohl schon sehr große Wellen geschlagen. Und es ist generell auch, es ist verwirrend, weil ja einige Leute durchaus mit den Kapseln eine Zeit lang auf Eis gelegen haben. Es ist eine Menge passiert. Die Frage ist jetzt, wo wollen wir weitermachen? Wollen wir die Alice-Route weitergehen? Oder wollen wir die Tenmyoji-Route weitergehen? Die Wahl liegt bei der Zuschauerschaft. Und darauf trinke ich kurz einen Schluck Fassbrause. Übrigens, das mit Radical Six haben wir halt rausgefunden, weil wir im Labor, wir sind halt in dem Pfad gemeinsam mit Dio durch die rote Tür gegangen und Clover ins Labor. Und da haben wir ein gewisses Journal gefunden auf Latein. So, okay, also ist K der OG-Sigma und unser Sigma ist eine Art Golem, kann ich mir vorstellen. Ich gehe davon aus, dass wir in so einem Cross-Universum sind, verschiedener Zeitlinien. Ah, mal gucken. Die Tenmyoji-Route, okay. Übrigens, über Tenmyoji werden wir auch noch einige sehr interessante Sachen erfahren. Ja, das war die Sache, man findet die tote Alice. Das skippe ich jetzt erstmal, weil Clover dann anfängt, alle zu beschuldigen und sagt, sie bringt nach und nach alle um, wenn. Naja. Und da haben wir jetzt wieder dieses Bild von dem Buch, das wir gefunden hatten. Those infected by Radical Six eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Was höchstwahrscheinlich. Ach, eine andere Wirkung, die Radical Six hat, ist, dass die Hirnleistung quasi gedrosselt wird, insofern, dass die Welt um einen herum plötzlich so wirkt, als wäre sie schneller. So ungefähr. Also man hat nur noch ungefähr 40% der ursprünglichen Geschwindigkeit. Naja. Suddenly, Clover moved. I leapt forward and clamped my hand around her wrist.
What are you doing?
Clover, listen to me. Alice wasn't killed. Nobody murdered her. She took her own life.
What?
It's true. She stabbed herself in the heart with a scalpel.
All right. Where'd she get the scalpel then?
Well,
I did hear someone come into the infirmary right after the AB game ended.
Was that before I showed up?
Yes. I got up to see who it was, but they were already gone. It could have been Alice.
so she could have taken the scalpel then.
Yes, I think so.
You're lying! This is all a lie! It has to be!
It's not. It's the truth.
Then why did she do it? Why would Alice kill herself?
She probably didn't have a reason.
What?
She'd been infected with Radical 6. That's what killed her.
But you just said she killed herself! Just tell me the truth!
I am.
Then prove it! Your 10 seconds ran out a long time ago. So if you don't have any proof...
I do. I have proof. There was a journal in the lab, wasn't there, Kay? Show it to me.
A journal?
It would have been in the safe.
Oh, well, Alice would have it then.
Why can you... I don't feel right touching a dead woman's body. Jetzt, bei Alice hat wirklich Selbstmord begangen, oder? War ja auch schon meine Vermutung. Ja, das ist in dem Fall richtig. In der anderen Zeitlinie wollte Luna sie aufhalten und wurde von Alice umgebracht oder von Clover, je nachdem, ob Alice den blutigen Fetzen gefunden hat. Ja, das ist die Frage, ne? Das war in der Luna-Zeitlinie, glaube ich, oder? Naja. Ach ja, stimmt, das war ja auch eine Sache, die ziemlich interessant war. Wobei da wusste man ja, wer Luna umgebracht hat. Aber es gab noch eine andere, in der man Luna, glaube ich, tot findet. Naja. I don't feel right touching a dead woman's body. Can you take a look?
Sure.
Her hands barely shook as she quickly searched through Alice's clothing. It was only seconds before she stopped. Slowly and carefully she drew something out. There it was. The journal. I turned to hand it to me, but I shook my head. You read it. It's in Latin. I can't make heads or tails of it. Jetzt, ja, Luna Rote wird sie von Clover umgebracht. Ja, das ist die logische Schlussfolgerung, die wir da hatten. She cocked an eyebrow at me and flipped the small book open. When she looked back up at me, it was with both suspicion and surprise.
Yeah, it is Latin. But translating this is impossible. It's full of words I've never heard before. I can barely understand any of this.
Page 216.
Huh?
Turn to page 216. You should be able to read that one. Vi's frown deepened, but she did as I suggested. I watched her eyes quickly scan the page before looking up at me with renewed suspicion.
Yeah, I can read this page. How did you know? No, wait. How did you even know there was a journal in the lab?
I just knew.
You just knew? Come on.
Look, just read it, okay? Clover wants to hear what it has to say. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Give me a moment to look it over.
After a few moments of whispering to herself in Latin, Vi began to translate, paraphrasing the contents of the journal. Radical 6 reduces the processing speed of the brain by a factor of the root of 1/6. One of the symptoms of Radical 6 infection is an overwhelming urge to commit suicide. Research has shown that it would probably respond to the right sort of antiviral medication, but no one has been able to develop one yet. Nearby towns are filled with the corpses of people who took their own lives. The uninfected have only barely managed to survive and have been sent into underground shelters supervised by the government.
Oh Lord, please. Let their future be a bright one.
Fai shut the journal with a soft slap. A sickly silence drifted through the room. The newspaper article, the recording, the conversation with Tenmyoji, and now this journal entry. There was no more hiding from the truth. The pandemic had already happened. All of Clover's rage suddenly dissipated, and she collapsed to the floor, tears pouring down her face. Ach stimmt, in der Dio-Route findet man Luna und Alice zusammen tot. Ja, stimmt, das gibt's auch. Es sind so viele Routen, da habe ich das nicht alles im Kopf, wer wann wo tot ist. None of us had the heart to say anything, and for several long moments the only sound in the room was Clover's sobs.
We've got a problem. It's almost time for the primary doors to open.
Yeah, only 10 minutes left.
Sorry, but I'll be taking Alice's bracelet. Fi and I won't be able to open the secondary door without it.
So she was a magenta pair, just like me.
Just now noticed that, did ya?
As he spoke, Dio grabbed the bracelet off the floor and dropped it into his pocket.
What color is your bracelet, Luna?
I'm a cyan pair.
You are part of Clover's pair, then. That means the two of you will need to come with me.
I guess so. Come on now, Clover. We need to go. Alice would want you to survive, wouldn't she? You'll never be able to figure out why all this happened if you stay here. Please.
You're right. Alice, I promise I'll find out what happened to you. I'll figure out who Zero really is. I mean, if you'd never been locked up in here, you never would have... This never would have happened. So it's like Zero killed you. I promise. I'll avenge you.
Clover stood up and rubbed her hands roughly over her eyes, smearing tears across her cheeks. Then, with a determined frown, she strode out of the room.
All right, we're out of time. Move, people.
You guys head on down to the Floor B warehouse. We'll catch up with you later.
Oh, right. Quark's got the yellow bracelet, which makes him your partner, right?
Yeah, can't exactly leave him behind.
Without him, we'd end up stuck in the AB room.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go. We'll see the rest of you once we've picked up Quark.
Very well. Until we meet again.
Es geht also wohl zum zweiten Mal durch eine weiße Tür. Es wird interessant. Die erste weiße Tür hatten wir bei der Luna-Route, meine ich.
Quark!
Oh, dem geht's wieder gut. Ja, stimmt. Hier war die erste weiße Tür, das war Security. Die Frage ist, durch welche weiße Tür wir jetzt gehen.
You're awake!
Yeah, I just woke up. Hey, where's everybody else?
Oh god. Quark.
Tenmyoji's entire body shook with emotion as he drew closer to him. He cautiously laid a trembling hand on the boy's shoulder, almost as if he were afraid Quark would disappear in a puff of smoke the moment he was touched. When Quark proved to indeed be corporeal ist, glaube ich, die richtige Aussprache, Tenmyoji let out a cry and threw his arms around him.
What's wrong? Are you okay, Grandpa?
It's nothing. Nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
But...
Quark gave him a puzzled look. Tenmyoji didn't even notice. His face was a mixture of happiness and relief, and I could see tears twinkling from the wrinkled corners of his eyes. All traces of his usual gruff stoicism had vanished. I didn't want to interrupt such a happy reunion, but we were running out of time. Still, Tenmyoji deserved a few minutes. I left them alone. At last, Tenmyoji seemed to recover and shifted from an embrace to a protective arm around the shoulder.
So, how are you feeling?
Feeling? Well, okay, I guess. Was I sick or something?
No, you're not sick. If you feel fine, then you're fine.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I should never have gotten you involved in all this.
What are you apologizing for?
Sorry.
You're doing it again. Are you sure you're okay? So, where's everybody else? Mr. Sigma's here, but he's just been standing there looking kinda silly.
I gave him a nervous smile and explained about the white doors. I got the feeling Tenmyoji didn't want Quark to know about Radical 6, so I avoided any mention of it. Alice's death was something I also left for later.
Okay, that makes sense. That means I'm on a team with you guys, right?
Right.
So, these white doors, when are they gonna open?
Well, we've got about 4 minutes until the primary doors open.
Oh, that's not good. We need to hurry, come on! How do we get to the Floor B warehouse?
Okay, we're going.
Follow me. Ich sehe jetzt nicht die Riesenstrecke. Aber man muss ja natürlich von dem Aufzug auch dann wieder darunter, aber egal. Immer diese Sequenzen. Habe ich mal kurz genutzt, um wieder einen Schluck zu trinken. Aber ich glaube, das Clover-Ende und das Dio-Ende sind die einzigen Enden, die man finden kann, ohne auf irgend so ein Schloss zu treffen. Bei Tenmyoji hingegen gibt es ein paar Punkte, wo... Naja, zumindest einen. Aber den haben wir ja jetzt überwunden. Oder gab es dazwischen schon mal irgendwas im Weg? Ich glaube nicht. Das mal Timing.
Chromatic doors have opened.
Schauen wir mal kurz. Ne, auf dem Weg war alles frei. Die Schlösser tauchen erst hier unten immer auf. Wobei hier teilweise schon auf dem Weg, aber naja.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
You're late. Where the hell have you been? Quark?
You're awake.
And fully recovered, apparently.
I am also relieved to see you well again.
Me too.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
I looked out at the others from behind Quark and held a warning finger up to my lips. There were a few momentarily raised eyebrows and some nervous coughing as everyone suddenly fell silent.
Huh?
From Quark's perspective, it must have seemed especially odd.
Anyway, there isn't any time left. We need to hurry.
But there are 3 doors.
Which team goes in which door?
All of the doors are identical for this round. I believe it doesn't matter which team uses which door.
Then we're taking the one in the middle.
Why that one?
You want a kill shot, you aim for the center. You're more likely to just miss the extremities.
That logic is flawed and more than slightly disturbing.
Sehr schöner Spruch.
Unfortunately, I don't really have a counter-argument, so center door it is.
I suppose we could go with the one on the left. Is that okay? I mean, we could go with the other one if you want.
Kay and Clover only nodded.
Well, there's only one left.
The door on the right.
Any objections? All right, let's move.
30 seconds remain until chromatic doors close.
Hurry it up, Vi. This thing's gonna close.
I know.
It's time we were going as well.
Right. Sure.
Come on, guys, there's no time to waste.
Right behind you.
Let's go!
2, 1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
Tja, dann schauen wir mal, wo wir jetzt landen. Ah, ja, ich weiß wieder, was das für ein Raum ist. Da waren wir ja auch schon im Luna-Ende drin. What is this place?
Probably the office of whoever it is that's running this place.
It said director's office on the door.
So, this might be Zero Senior's office.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Ja, stimmt, wir fragen uns ja immer noch, wer überhaupt Zero Senior ist. Das ist ja bisher auch noch nicht klar. Well, which is it?
How the hell would I know?
We should look around. If this really is Zero Senior's room, there might be some clues.
Yeah, you got a point. Let's get started then. Ja, hier zum Beispiel haben wir erstmal... What's this? I checked it out earlier, but I think it's just a business card holder. A business card holder? Yeah. It's a file where you put business cards. No, they've all got these weird shapes on the back. I think maybe if you line them up in a particular way, then you'll get some sort of hint. Place the business cards in the correct order. By selecting one business card and then another, you can swap their positions. Well, I guess we can give it a shot. Oh, ich glaube, man muss da vorher ein bisschen was wissen. Ah, okay, Moment. Kann man die jetzt auch noch austauschen? Nee. Aber das hier ist ein... Das sieht aus, als könnte es ein K werden. Die Frage ist, was würde dann da hinpassen an der Stelle? Könnte auch das sein. Kurz schauen. Ja, das könnte passen. Ja, hier, man sieht hier auch so einen ganz feinen schwarzen Strich noch. Die müssen auf jeden Fall einmal getauscht werden. Dann haben wir nämlich hier so etwas. Aber ich glaube, wir machen erstmal ein bisschen weiter. I don't get it. Maybe you don't have enough information. Das denke ich mir nämlich auch, weil wir wissen nicht, in welcher Reihenfolge die Buchstaben kommen. Yeah, it's not opening. Is it locked? Yeah, looks like it. I don't see anything that looks like a keyhole, though. There's this diamond-shaped hole in the middle, though. Do you think we're supposed to stick something in there? Well, what do we have here? Haven't seen a computer this old in a while. There's something on the screen. Jetzt Zero Senior Luna. Okay, könnte eine Idee sein. Jetzt genau, hier müssen wir ID und Passwort eingeben. Ja, stimmt. Ist weiter meine Vermutung, eine tote Luna in der Luna-Route klingt für mich ein wenig nach dem Zero Lost in des ersten Teils. Ja, das könnte man so hinnehmen. Oder so als Idee sehen. Is that a lion eating a hamburger? Stimmt, man könnte es auch als einen Hamburger sehen, wo der Salat rausquillt. I really don't think so. I think the lion's got two heads. Looks like a monster from Greek myth or something. It looks like it's asking for an ID and password underneath the lion. The keyboard doesn't seem to be working, though. I guess you can't enter anything then. Okay, ich kann mir auch nicht den Rechner, der dazugehört, angucken. Was haben wir denn hier? Man, this safe is really big. Und hat wohl eine sehr schwammige Textur. There's gotta be like $100 billion in there. You're such a kid. Maybe they're just hiding something they really don't want people to see. Like some videos. I'm not sure I like the way you said that.
Let's just open it and up and find out.
I don't think... See...
Is it locked?
Yeah. There's a circular input panel on top of the handle. It looks like the one on the pressure exchange chamber's door. So if we just do the same thing we did then... Okay, when you select the little guide ring, bla bla, klar. Alright, let's do it. Das heißt, dafür brauchen wir erstmal eine Info, was wir da verbinden müssen. I don't get it. How do I know which cars to connect? If you don't know that, you're probably missing some information.
Hey,
What's up?
what about that globe?
Globe? Ah, da. So, ich würde sagen, gucken wir uns erstmal so der Reihe nach um. Was haben wir hier? A bookshelf. There's some paint inside it. Tablet, aber ohne Batterie.
It looks like a tablet. Does it work?
No. There's an empty slot on the back.
So it doesn't have a battery?
Guess not.
Then maybe if we can find a battery.
We might be able to turn it on. Huh. This cheap brandy. Alcohol this bad shouldn't even exist. So I think it's best if I dispose of it safely with my... I'll be taking that. Eine Sache im Luna-Ende ist natürlich auch noch die Frage. Wir wissen ja, da waren so ziemlich alle tot. Also im Grunde nur Quark war eine Person, die bisher noch nicht wieder aufgetaucht ist. Aber irgendjemand hat eine Tür geöffnet. Also ein AB-Gate, und wir wissen nicht, wer. Das ist zum Beispiel auch noch eine Frage, die in Luna-Ende oder in der Luna-Route gerade nicht so ganz klar ist. Da kann man natürlich auch überlegen, wer könnte das gewesen sein. War das Quark? War das jemand anders? Haben wir vielleicht was falsch verstanden? Zero Senior must be a real tightwad if he's stocking this cheap stuff. Might as well be water. Is it really that bad? Well, I'll admit I can't be sure. It's hard to really judge a brandy until you taste it. So... No.
No!
Oh. Tried putting it there before. We just put it back. Didn't really expect something to happen. No, not really. Nehmen wir wieder mit.
That coaster's green. It looks like there used to be a bottle on it.
Okay, hier haben wir noch was. There's red paint on the wall.
It looks like there's an outlet right next to it.
Why would somebody put an outlet this high up? Well, it's probably not an electrical outlet.
What is it then?
I think you're supposed to insert something into it. Sind auf jeden Fall immer wieder diese rote Farbe. Was haben wir denn hier? What's this? Is it one of those vacuuming robots you see on the TV? Jetzt weiterhin meine Vermutung. Wir brauchen eine After-Credit-Szene mit Pai und der Miyoji in einer Bar. Ja, das wäre klasse. Pai frisst die ganze Küche leer und der Miyoji säuft wie ein Loch. Super Idee. You got me. Looks like a machine of some sort.
Well, is it turned on?
Don't think so. Let's see if... Nope, no luck. Nothing. Might as well give up.
Yeah. Let's go look at something else. We can always come back to it later.
Right. Eine Rüstung. A suit of armor. Well, it's not really a full suit of armor, is it? I mean, it's missing the helmet. So what would we call it? I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a suit of armor, okay? Suit yourself. Anyway, it's got some red paint on the neck and shoulder area. Are you sure it's paint? It could be blood.
Hey! Don't say stuff like that. Being in a room with a headless suit of armor is creepy enough.
Short Spear? Naja, das als Speer zu bezeichnen, das ist ja nicht mal ein Godendark. Gut.
So he's got a spear instead of a sword? This is a really short spear, though.
If you look at the tip head on, it looks kinda like a diamond. A diamond, huh? Naja. Hier. Slingshot. A slingshot. Not the most impressive weapon, but it's simple as hell and it won't jam like a gun. A balloon. You want it, Quark?
I don't need a balloon. I'm not a kid.
Really? How old are you?
I'm 20.
What? No way.
Gotcha.
Ja, wie alt Quark ist, wissen wir nicht. Globe. Hey, a globe.
Doesn't it look kinda weird? I think somebody glued a piece of paper to it.
Let's see if we can get it off then. We found a world map. Okay. Eine Weltkarte. Aha! Das können wir brauchen. Aber wir haben hier noch was.
This is a coaster, right? It looks just like the one on the bookshelf.
Ja. Und hier haben wir eine Flasche mit irgendwas Rotem drauf. Now this is brandy. Your parents' 200-year-old reserve. You can tell that just by looking at it. I can smell it. That's some nose you've got there. Here, just let me have a taste. I don't think so. How can you be so cruel? Expensive brandy, yeah. Oh, this is the good stuff right here. From your parents' 200-year-old reserve. You already told me that. Oh, did I? Yeah, 200 years is pretty impressive, though. Yes, it is. Then again, it's even older than that by now. Maybe it's gone bad. It's probably just like water now. I should drink.
No!
Oh. Keiner will Tenmyoji saufen lassen. Aber gut. Schauen wir doch erstmal. Hier haben wir einen komischen Laser. The left section has a laser shining across it. Was passiert denn, wenn wir die Flasche da hinstellen?
Look! The laser beam's bending all around inside the bottle.
Yeah, it made a parallelogram. The laser beam is making a parallelogram in the brandy bottle. So, was ist das hier denn? What is this? One of the training machines you see on late night infomercials? I think it's a facial recognition device. A what? You put your hands on either side and hold your face in front of that lens. Then it checks your face against whatever it's got in its database. Oh. Huh. How did you know that? I'm in the salvage business. Every so often one of these babies shows up.
It doesn't look like it's turned on.
Yeah, nothing happens when I put my face in front of it. There's something on the right of the lens over there that looks an awful lot like a keyhole. If we had a key for it, you think maybe we could turn it on? I assume so. Aber gut, wir haben doch hier erstmal was gefunden, was man vielleicht hier benutzen könnte. Ha, it opened.
There's something in here.
Is it a key? Small key. Dann können wir doch mal schauen, ob das bei dem Facial Recognition Device funktioniert. Whoa, the light on the top turned on. Looks like you managed to turn it on. Alright, it's on. Now what? Well, why don't we give it a face to look at?
One of ours?
Yeah. Damn. None of our faces work. Face not recognized.
Gender mismatch.
Gender mismatch? Okay. What does it mean by gender mismatch?
Maybe it's saying that it needs a girl?
But there's only 3 of us and none of us are women. Well, maybe if we dress Quark up like a girl.
No, no way! Why don't you dress up then?
No. Just thinking about that is making me want to puke. Entschuldigung, das ist jetzt aber ein bisschen übertrieben.
Besides, do you see a wig or makeup or anything around here? How would any of us dress up like a woman anyway?
Dude, you totally want to do it.
No, I don't.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe...
What is it?
Did you have an idea? Well, it can't hurt to try. Yeah, definitely worth a shot. How long has he had that in his pocket? It looks like a piece of paper. No, it's a picture. Oh yeah, I remember him looking at that in the infirmary. I guess it's worth a shot. Whoa.
Oh my gosh, it's like we're in the villain's secret lair.
Huh. Didn't think that would happen. I guess the recognition worked.
Ja.
Da ist nur die Frage, was das für ein Bild ist. So, who is this girl? Hey, stop. Ja, wer ist das? Wer ist das? She's just a girl. Is she your granddaughter? No. Well, who is she then? Damn it, fine. You've already seen her after all. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. I've been looking for her for a long time. Why?
Because she's his first love.
No. You've got it wrong.
But you carry that picture everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen you leave it somewhere. And when you don't think anybody's watching, you talk to it. I've seen you do it.
Huh. Didn't mark you for a hopeless romantic, Tenmyoji. Look, it's not about love, and I'm not a goddamn romantic. Okay, okay. You don't want to talk about her, I get it. Interessant, oder? Was sagt das jetzt aus? Was lernen wir daraus? Yeah. Look. Oh hey, there's the helmet for the suit of armor. The armor's helmet. There's red paint on it. Das ist Tenmyoji Jumpy. Genau richtig. Tenmyoji ist der gealterte Junpei. You must be feeling pretty tired, Tenmyoji. All the excitement can't be easy for someone of your age. Why don't you sit down for a bit? I'm not so old I need the likes of you worrying about me. That so? Well, I think I'll just have a seat then. Ah. Huh? What's that? I think maybe it's an eye watching us?
I don't think so.
I think it's a target. Like a bullseye? Yeah, you're supposed to shoot it. Ansonsten haben wir einen Hebel. There's a lever next to the chair. Why don't you pull it? What's going to happen? Come on, is it really that hard to figure out? You think it's going to go back into the wall? Pull the damn thing and find out.
Alright. I guess I should start by sitting in the chair. Then I pull the lever. Here I go. Ein P. Und was Grünes. Eine Batterie. Looks like there's something on the table. Is that a battery? Mal schnell kombinieren. I don't need to be looking at this right now. I can take care of it when I get back to the other room. Okay. There's a P painted on the wall in red paint. Mehr kann ich hier nicht machen. Okay. If I pull it again, the chair should turn back around, right? Oh, whatever. Not like I have a choice. Ja. Aber ja, Tenmyoji, also es ist ab jetzt wohl ziemlich eindeutig, dass Tenmyoji Junpei ist. Die Frage ist nur, woher kommt jetzt der Altersunterschied zwischen ihm und Clover? Und Alice zum Beispiel ist ja auch nicht älter oder nicht nennenswert älter als am Ende des ersten Teils. Irgendwas stimmt nicht, nicht wahr? Aber gut. Eine Sache, die wir erstmal machen können. Hier. Wir können mal das Ding hier aufstellen. Tried putting the good brandy on the coaster, but... Ach, man kann die Bücher wegräumen. Historical Adventure Saga. Clover und Alice waren danach in den Schlafputz, sonst wäre Clover ja auch älter, beziehungsweise Alice bräuchte nicht unbedingt einen bei ihrer minus 1 Grad Celsius. Ne, nicht minus 1 Grad. Die Temperatur, die da genannt wurde, war knapp unter Körpertemperatur. Historical Adventure Saga. There are 3 volumes. Literary Analyses. This looks like a collection of literary analyses. Do you think it has any hints to help us get out of here? If it does, we're screwed. I think we'd starve to death before we got through all 4 of those tomes. Philosophy books. I think these are philosophy books. The stuff in here is pretty sophisticated. I'm amazed you could get that far. I flipped the first one open and my brain just said, screw this, I'm out. Philosophie ist gar nicht mal so schwierig. Oh, Moment. Ah, okay, wir können die dann wieder reinstellen. Aber erstmal schauen wir uns was an. Jetzt komme ich zu meiner Theorie der verschiedenen Zeitlinien zurück. Das wäre auch eine Möglichkeit natürlich. Schauen wir mal. Weiß-Blau, Gelb-Violett, Rot-Grün. Weiß-Blau, Gelb, Violett, Rot, Grün. Das kriege ich hin. So. Okay, Rot, Grün und Gelb, Violett müssen schon mal auf eine sehr interessante Art aneinander vorbeigehen. Mal so. Jetzt Weiß-Blau. Ah, nee. Retry. Ich muss ein bisschen anders machen. Ich glaube, ich nehme mal den Weg. So, Gelb-Violett muss nämlich einen Weg gehen. Ach nee, Quatsch, ist auch wieder falsch. So, so, so. Und Gelb-Violett muss halt einen Weg gehen, über den wir... Ach, Moment, ich mache Rot-Grün vielleicht als letztes. Also erstmal Weiß-Blau. Schauen wir mal so. So. Jetzt ist bei Gelb-Violett so ein bisschen das Schwierige. Das muss man irgendwie hinkriegen, ohne dass man den Rot-Grün-Weg komplett unmöglich macht. Das heißt, Gelb-Violett zum Beispiel kann jetzt hier lang. Aber dann haben wir hier zum Beispiel das Problem, dass wir damit Rot quasi komplett einschließen. Muss ich also anders machen. Also auch das hier schon. Was passiert, wenn wir den Weg gehen? Geht das dann besser? Ja, dann können wir nämlich hier rum einen Umweg gehen. Und Rot-Grün ist möglich.
Haha. Aber gut, wie das zu erklären ist, da kommen wir noch zu. Die Frage ist jetzt natürlich immer noch, wenn Clover und Alice auf Eis lagen, wer ist die dritte Person? So, kurz einen Schluck getrunken. Good job. You did it. Nice work. Very impressive. Let's have a look inside. $100 billion. Videos. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys. Looks like all we've got is a binder and a deer.
So, a binder.
What the hell is this? Zero just making fun of us?
The deer's looking at me, Grandpa.
Buck up, it's just a fake. Mounted deer.
A mounted deer. Poor deer.
Take a closer look, it's just a replica.
You mean it's fake?
Yeah.
Who? That's good to know.
You know, there's some red paint on its neck.
It's also got 2 pegs on the back of its board. Maybe we're supposed to put it up somewhere?
Alright, so there's a binder in the safe.
It's got 2 pieces of paper in it.
So page 1 of the business card instructions. Und 2, okay. Bob, Chris, John, Tony, Ian, Michael. Ah, okay, das heißt, wir können ein paar Sachen schon dann... Carol likes being on the left and prefers to be near Bob. Alan would like to be above Anne. Sophie likes to be on the very right. Kate likes to be next to Michael. Okay, also ein kleines Rätsel. Dann sollten wir jetzt aber erstmal Zeug so ein bisschen... Was haben wir hier zum Beispiel? Zack. Well, looks like you were right. Und wir haben noch einen Helm. Yes, that suits him. Ernsthaft, wie viel Suit-Witze macht er noch mit der Rüstung? So, wo hatten wir noch? Hier. So, das heißt Archiv. Bob, Chris, John. Okay. Ach, Blödsinn. John haben wir hier. Jetzt Tony, Ian, Michael. Okay. So, das reicht natürlich noch nicht. Jetzt spricht den Clover und den Miyoji, bevor sie mit Luna sterben, so vor. Oh gut. Ja, ja. Das heißt, wir werden alle sterben. Auch über, naja, das mit der Axt. Das ist ja dann in dieser Zeitlinie nicht passiert. Da hat Clover ja nicht die Leute umgebracht. Aber gut. Jetzt. Carol also komplett nach links. Jetzt Anne möchte nah bei Bob sein. Fangen wir mal an. Also. Anne setzen wir mal hier hin. Carol packen wir mal hier hin. Ist jetzt erstmal nur so ein bisschen Spitballing. Alan möchte über Anne sein. Okay. Das heißt, wir müssen auf jeden Fall Anne hier hinbringen. Carol möchte nach ganz links, das heißt das. Alan möchte da, also müsste dann auch so stimmen. Sophie likes to be on the very right und Kate likes to be next to Michael. Müsste so stimmen? Nein. Ist nicht ganz richtig. Moment. Mal kurz das letzte. Alan would like to be above Anne. Das haben wir. Sophie likes to be on the very right. Haben wir. Katie likes to be next... Ah, nee. Wir könnten das auch so haben. Sophie likes to be on the very right. Kate likes to be next to Michael. Schauen wir jetzt. Nee, das muss man auf jeden Fall nochmal austauschen. Also oben stand Book. Und hier muss man noch ein bisschen rumwursteln. Frage ist... Ah, Moment. Sophie wollte aber nach ganz rechts, oder? Ja. Ach, Moment, kann es heißen, dass das... Die beiden musste ich, glaube ich, austauschen? Nein. Das ergibt keinen Sinn. Aber ansonsten... Die Position von Tony, Ian und Michael standen ja fest. Da kann ich nichts dran ändern. Kann natürlich auch sein, dass ich hier was falsch verstanden habe und das so aussehen muss, aber nee, das passt erst recht nicht. So aber wohl auch. Yep. Moment. Ah, nee. Klar, wir haben ja noch die da oben. Die müssen wir tauschen. Nee, die müssen wir nicht tauschen. Moment, das hatte ich komplett falsch. Das muss dahin. Das heißt, Sophie kommt nach oben. Dann haben wir nämlich hier Book. Und dann muss das noch Kate mit Lola getauscht werden und dann haben wir es. Jetzt haben wir es endlich. Jetzt zum Thema, wann kommen die neuen Folgen Geschichten aus dem Stall auf Spotify raus? Ich sage es immer wieder gerne. Wenn ich die Zeit und Muße dazu habe und ganz im Ernst, je öfter man mich fragt, desto länger dauert's. So. I think this is right. Then let's look at the other side. Maybe the shapes look like something now. Okay, let's have a look at the back of the business card. Sehen wir da nämlich? Book 334. It says Book 334. What does it mean? Well, a book is a bunch of pieces of paper that are bound together with... I know what a book is. So, denn wir hatten doch... Nee, hier war das Regal. Das heißt, wir haben hier zum Beispiel 3 Bücher. Hier haben wir 3 Bücher. Und hier haben wir 4 Bücher. So, und ich denke, damit können wir uns nochmal setzen und ein bisschen schauen. Denn jetzt haben wir hier H, L. Damit kann ich mich nicht weiter umsehen. Ach ja, wir haben noch nicht hier reingeguckt. Looks like you got the tablet to turn on. Look! Something showed up on the screen. Enter a 4-digit password, then press the Enter key on the right. Oh, okay. Moment. I don't get it. Was haben wir denn bisher? Wir haben H, E, L und ein P. Ach, Help! Tada! You did it! Good work, Sigma. Take a look at the screen. Jetzt ist es grün. What's this? Looks like the password for the safe. Awesome! Now I can open it. Ja, aber es gibt natürlich noch eine andere Möglichkeit. Ich glaube, dafür muss ich mich noch mal kurz setzen. Kann ich mit der Schleuder auf das Ding schießen oder brauche ich dafür was? Okay, I'll just use the slingshot too. Whoa, hold on there. Do you actually have something to fire? Oh, no, I guess I don't. What are you going to shoot with then? With them? With mind bullets. It's called telekinesis, Sigma. Anyway, I figured that'll slip your mind like everything else. Here, I grabbed this off the floor earlier. Take it. Oh, this is the key we used to start the facial recognition device. Thanks, man. I guess I don't have to use my special psychic powers after all. Here goes. Aiming.
3, 2, 1. Fire! Whoa, nice aim. You got it right in the center. Jetzt liegt da wahrscheinlich irgendwas. Oder auch nicht. Das ist zumindest nichts, was ich mir ansehen könnte. Ah, Moment. Ah, die Raute. Vielleicht hat das was zu bedeuten. The laser beam is making a parallelogram in the brandy bottle. Das heißt... Help haben wir ja hier. Ich probiere jetzt einfach ein bisschen rum. Wenn ich jetzt zum Beispiel sage, ich mache... Das ist wahrscheinlich falsch. WLPHE ist wahrscheinlich auch falsch. PHEL. Okay. Dann sind wir nämlich wieder bei Help. Vielleicht muss man es rückwärts machen. Beginnen wir mal damit. Play. Leb. Epel. APLE. PLEH. Hatten wir das schon? Ja genau, wir hatten das am Anfang. Okay, irgendwas mache ich falsch. A 4-letter password. Irgendwas muss ich doch noch machen können. Irgendwas über... Ach, was ist denn hier? There's a screen built into the credenza. It's got something on it. That's a tangram. It's a silhouette puzzle. Oh, okay. Zack. I have no idea what it is. Let's give it a shot. Okay, wir können also Dinge hier... Ah, wir müssen so ein Parallelogramm erzeugen, glaube ich. Oh, scheiße. Ach, Moment. Geht ja relativ einfach. Ich muss quasi einfach nur von hier nach da übertragen. Moment. Quatsch. Das muss nicht dahin, das muss dahin. Ach komm, ich nehme jetzt die Maus, das ist ein bisschen... Kann ich damit die Dinger packen? Nein, ich kann das nur mit diesem Cursor. Nee, doch, ich kann es so. Damit kriege ich es nämlich ein bisschen genauer hin, denke ich. Muss vielleicht ein bisschen mehr in die Mitte. Zusatzrätsel für Zusatzpasswörter. Hey, lass dich hier... Check ist falsch, okay. Moment. Ich suche danach jetzt mal, wie das aussehen muss, weil ich habe jetzt keine Lust, da ewig dran rumzuwurschteln. Okay, es muss ein bisschen... Ah, okay, es braucht eine andere Form. Sehe ich. Aber es ist nicht so schwierig. Okay. Ich muss nämlich ein bisschen was drehen. Okay, das heißt, das muss... Ne, Quatsch, das muss so. Und das muss entsprechend so. Mit Interessant, dass man die Dinge auch einfach so übereinander legen kann. Aber gut. Man muss auf jeden Fall am Ende ein Parallelogramm raus haben.
Es gibt, glaube ich, einen gewissen Toleranzbereich, aber gut, komm, so. Hauen wir es jetzt erstmal so hin und ich muss gestehen, dass ich das natürlich ein kleines bisschen jetzt abkupfere. Das Drehen ist jetzt hier ein bisschen ätzend, aber gut. Muss passen, so. Das hier müssen wir so drehen. Das kommt hier hin. Ich muss zugeben, als Kind habe ich sowas sehr, sehr gerne gemacht, Tangram, aber solche Rätsel, da braucht man auch eigentlich die vernünftige Steuerung, dass es vielleicht irgendwie so ein Grid-Snap oder sowas hätte, aber nein, hat es nicht. Ach nee, Moment, falsch. Falsch gedreht. So muss es sein. Hier hin. Jetzt brauchen wir das Quadrat, das wir natürlich auch einmal drehen müssen um 45 Grad. Dann das Dreieck nochmal ein kleines bisschen. Und auch das hier müssen wir noch ein kleines bisschen drehen und dann haben wir unser Parallelogramm. Haha, so, reicht. Oh yeah, who's the man? That was amazing. How'd you do it? That puzzle was really hard. Well done, Sigma. That was pretty impressive. So, what do we get? Look, there's something on the screen. IILP? What does that mean? Tippen wir es mal ein. Haha. Looks like it worked. Good job. That was awesome. The screen changed. Hey, it looks different than before. The symbols are different and they're in different places. So. Dann auf zum Safe. Hier. A safe just like before. There's gotta be a way to open it. Should we just punch in the password? Why don't you try and find it out? Na gut, das heißt, erstmal das Bonuspasswort. Good job. It opened. Good work. So, Goldfile. Und nochmal. Archiv, erstmal kurz. Save Director's Office. Okay. Sonne, Mond, Mond und fertig. Dann schauen wir, was wir finden. Okay, einfach nur ein Schlüssel und Karten. Phew, it's open. It looks kind of empty this time. There are only two things in here. First we've got the AB room key cards. Oh, these must be the star cards they were talking about. There are two of them. You guys take one and I'll take the other. Right. We're a pair, so we only need one for the two of us. And the other thing is the key as usual. Yes. Now we can get out of here. So, great, no point in sitting around. Let's go. So. Hier. Dann schauen wir mal, wo es hingeht. Wo es jetzt hingeht. The door lock. It says lock right now. You guys ready? Yeah. Go for it. All right. 3, 2, 1. Dass der immer runterzählen muss, bevor dein Schlüssel einsteckt. Okay, es führt alles einfach nur wieder zurück.
No!
Okay, im Chat steht Opa. Ich weiß nicht genau warum, aber gut. Opa ist wahrscheinlich eher hier mit gemeint, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher.
Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
Ach, das Bild wahrscheinlich.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
Oh yeah, we must have set it down after using the face recognition thing.
Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come with you.
Me too.
Nah, that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
Alright. I'll see you two later then.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
Mich? Wieso mich? Also ich bin 30, das ist für einen Opa ein bisschen sehr jung. I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And they were gone. Guess I should be getting back then. Also erstmal kurz an den Chat. Raw Bunny, ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob das jetzt irgendwie liebenswerte Scherze sein sollen oder komisches Rumtrollen. Keine Ahnung, was das gerade soll, aber gut, meinetwegen. Wenn du mich so nennen willst, ich glaube, dann bist du ziemlich die einzige Person, die mich so nennt. I stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Vi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AB room and slid his card through the reader. Ach, diesmal haben sie ihn wohl aufgehalten, bis alle da waren.
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Dann ist mal die Frage, wenn es nur nett gemeint ist, inwiefern ist es nett, jemanden als Opa zu bezeichnen? Das geht mir nämlich jetzt gerade so nicht in den Schädel.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it. You see? I can be considerate.
But Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we'd investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door, and Tenmyoji and Quark were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
Jetzt schläft man ja gleich ein bei so einer Stimme. Glaub mir, ich habe schon ganz andere Reaktionen mit dieser Stimme ausgelöst. Aber gut, das ist wahrscheinlich Geschmackssache. Aber man sagt mir, ich habe eine relativ beruhigende Stimme. Aber bisher hat mir noch niemand gesagt, meine Stimme klänge alt. Von daher, naja. Und das hier übrigens ist eine Anspielung an Friedrich Nietzsche. That's, I don't think... Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right, see you guys later. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. Ach, ja, immer diese Transition Screens, die auch immer so schön kurz sind, nicht? Jetzt, ob ich Tee mit Honig mag, kommt auf den Tee an, aber ab und an ganz gerne, ja. Jetzt, so häufig stimmt nicht. Ich habe in der letzten Zeit Magenprobleme und deshalb kam mir ein Tee mit Honig. Oh Gott, jetzt fühle ich mich richtig alt. Aber gut. Aber ich bin nicht die Kaffeekuchen-Fraktion. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture's gone, though. Tamioji and Quark must have been here then. I laid out the floor B map. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. So, jetzt habe ich's auch wieder. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Huh. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Ugh. Well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. I'd packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where was ist jetzt heute mit mir los? Nochmal. There was a light on where there hadn't been... Was ist mit meiner Zunge los? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. Geht doch. What? Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. Jetzt zockst du auch RC oder R6? Ich habe keine Ahnung, was R6 sein soll. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it, slowly, slowly.
So, you finally made it.
No, you're...
I am Zero.
Rainbow Six Siege. Nö. Zock ich nicht. Habe ich auch bisher nicht wirklich viel Berührungspunkte mit gehabt. Ist, glaube ich, aber auch einfach nicht mein Genre. Aber jetzt haben wir hier einen sehr interessanten Punkt.
I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I considered taking a swing at him, but I decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my balled fist at my side.
Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you. First, I will tell you about termites. In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound? They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create.
Bunny, auf was möchtest du hinaus? Ich verstehe nicht, was der ganze Scheiß soll. Ist hier Kram Rainbow Six Siege, okay, meinetwegen. Kannst du mögen. Wirst du auf diesem Kanal nicht finden. Ich spiele hier gerade ein Narrative Game. Es geht um Story. Und diese Kommentare von der Seite sind ehrlich gesagt einfach nur nervig. Von daher, wenn das Spiel dich nicht interessiert und das, was ich zu sagen habe, nicht interessiert, bitte. Wenn du einfach nur nerven willst, meinetwegen, kannst du machen, aber ich kann dich auch stumm schalten. Von daher, jetzt dieser Kram 30 sein Opa, keine Ahnung, wie alt bist du bitte? Wenn man mit 30 ein Opa ist, dann sind teilweise Studenten noch Opas, wenn man bedenkt, wie lange manche Leute studieren. Bitte sehr. Ich hatte jetzt nicht den besten Tag, es gab ein paar Dinge, die mich heute aufgeregt haben. Ich habe keine Lust, mich mit sowas zu befassen. Hättest du mich an einem anderen Tag erlebt, wäre ich vielleicht ein bisschen fröhlicher, kann sein, aber heute ganz im Ernst. Normale Fragen und Antworten können wir gerne machen. 19, okay. Bitte sehr. Altersunterschied von 11 Jahren, meinetwegen. Keine Ahnung, was du dir unter einem Opa vorstellst. Aber gut. Eigentlich wollte ich hierzu was sagen. Und zwar jetzt zu der Sache mit Termitenbauten. Das ist nämlich was sehr Interessantes, weil viele denken dann ja, okay, sowas muss ja irgendwie geplant sein, aber es gibt tatsächlich einen Unterschied. Also wenn man ein Haus konstruiert, ist es ein sogenannter Top-Down-Prozess. Das heißt, oben wird was geplant, das wird nach unten weitergegeben und dort ausgeführt. Es gibt aber auch sogenannte Bottom-up-Prozesse, wie zum Beispiel die Formation eines Vogelschwarms oder zum Beispiel auch der Aufbau eines Termitenbaus. Das heißt, im Grunde arbeiten die Einzelteile nur nach simplen Algorithmen und daraus ergibt sich eine Gesamtstruktur. So funktioniert zum Beispiel auch Aufbau und Ausdifferenzierung von Zellen. Was ich äußerst faszinierend finde als Biologe, aber gut. Machen wir erstmal weiter.
What a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds. Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA. No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already?
Aber jetzt mal grundsätzlich zu dem Inhalt. Es ist jetzt interessant, wir sehen jetzt zum ersten Mal ein Abbild von Zero. Das heißt es gleichzeitig aber, Zero soll auch einer sein, der mitspielt. Was hat es jetzt damit auf sich? Was hat das Ganze zu bedeuten, ist die Frage. Von daher, ich glaube, einige, die sowas sehen, sind erstmal sehr verwirrt. Von daher machen wir mal weiter.
Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said. Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people. I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you. It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
Bomb?
Are you ready? I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately. I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
Wait. God damn it, you can't just spout all that crap and disappear. Erstmal zu der Sache, die im Chat abgeht. Wie gesagt, ich hatte heute einfach einen Tag, wo mich ein paar Dinge genervt haben. Von daher, jetzt, man muss mir da jetzt nicht zur Hilfe springen. Mit 30, ich bin jetzt nicht mehr jung. Bin jetzt, ich weiß nicht, ob man sagen würde, im mittleren Alter, keine Ahnung. Aber ich bin halt definitiv nicht alt. Und alt genug, ein Opa zu sein, definitiv noch nicht. Aber das ist jetzt auch scheißegal. Jetzt hier, ist dieser Zero dann auch Zero Senior oder inzwischen Zero? Das ist die Frage. Das ist die Frage. Aber so mit Zero Junior ist es wohl nicht, wie er aussieht. Es ist kein komisches Häschen. Aber gut, weiter. I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. Ugh. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Shit. I kicked out at a nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Oh crap. I need to get back. Not like there's any point staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse.
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Took you long enough.
Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Yeah. Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Oh?
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kinda pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You'd get a 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
True, but you must have considered that I'll choose betray. That would mean you choose betray to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this and both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. And that means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it.
How?
I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
Man. So all you've got is a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose ally! You promised!
With that, they turned and ran into the AB room second from the right. Well, guess I should get moving. So, jetzt ist natürlich die Frage, was wir wählen, nicht wahr?
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet. But
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose ally! You promised!
Tenmyoji I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the hell was I going to do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So. Die Wahl liegt nicht bei mir, sondern bei der Chatbeteiligung. Was wählen wir? Was wählen wir? Das haben wir selten, dass eine andere Partei 9 Punkte bekommen kann. Ah. Bei der dritten Wahl wahrscheinlich ist das da gar nicht mal so selten. Kam mir schon häufig vor, dass Leute nach der zweiten Runde so quasi 2x3 Punkte erfolgreich bekommen haben. Gerade wenn das Gegenüber nicht abstimmen konnte, aus welchen Gründen auch immer. Erstmal Ally, okay. Dann nehmen wir das.
Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Wir sind hier mit Ally gekommen, zieh mal durch. Das ist eine Idee.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Moment. Da ist was schiefgegangen. Oh. Aber jetzt schauen wir mal kurz. Erstmal, okay, Dio hat wieder versucht, jemanden umzubringen. Kay war in der Position, dass er sagt, er kann das nicht mit sich vereinbaren. Okay, passt auch. Aber das ist schon hart, dieses Ergebnis. Das ist schon sehr hart, dieses Ergebnis.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenryoji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door even if we got 9 points.
What? So, you're not going to leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
What?
Look, see Clover over there?
What? Don't tell me.
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyoji and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
Clover.
Jetzt, okay, alle, die schon mal an einem Non-Regame teilgenommen haben, nachsitzen. Ja gut, das sind ja nur 2.
Are you really going to leave?
Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Like hell I'm happy. That's some shady shit, Tenmyoji.
You say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's gotta pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
The number 9 door has been opened.
Übrigens, was jetzt da gerade im Chat steht. Ja, aber das sind die beiden, die eigentlich wissen müssten, dass mit Teamwork hier rauskommt. Warten wir auf den dritten Teil.
It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Time to move.
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay?
He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyoji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say...
See you.
Goodbye.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. Ich hoffe, die Notiz ist es wert. Das werden wir jetzt sehen. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formulas, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, and how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled and he'd brag to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It had never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and sat me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float. I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off. Moved off though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. I still didn't seem like it could be... Jetzt verlese ich mich auch. Aber ich finde, das ist schon eine rührende Geschichte. Man merkt ja, dass die in einer sehr schweren Gegend und Zeit dass er in einer schweren Gegend und Zeit aufwächst. Und da stellt man ihm quasi ein absolutes Luxusgut hin. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. Ich muss zugeben, für mich klingt ein Root Beer Float eigentlich extrem ekelhaft, weil das ist halt Root Beer, so das amerikanische, oder die amerikanische Version von Malzbier im Grunde, nur halt aus irgendeinem anderen Zeug, aber auch so ein süßes Getränk halt. Und dann halt einfach eine Kugel Eiscreme reingeklatscht. Warum? Das verstehe ich nicht. Aber augenscheinlich schmeckt das einigen Leuten echt gut. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration, I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then I didn't care whether he'd just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother, but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I'd found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care." Then he got mad and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at the gloomy grey sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked and I couldn't tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever god might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever. Even if he said I couldn't. Schon eine rührende Geschichte. Aber ja. Wie gesagt, es ist ja ziemlich offensichtlich inzwischen, dass Tenmyoji einfach nur ein alter Junpei ist und dass irgendwas Schlimmes passiert ist, was die meisten Charaktere irgendwie nicht mitbekommen haben. Aber ja. Das war das Tenmyoji-Ende. Ich habe jetzt mal kurz das beendet hier. Tenmyoji End. Speichern wir mal kurz ab. Ob es das wert war, das muss man jetzt eher zurückgeben an den Chat, aber ja, das war das Tenmyoji Ende. Damit haben wir das 4. von 9 Charakterenden. Die Frage ist, wir haben jetzt nämlich keine Informationen gefunden, die uns hier direkt weiterbringen. Aber wir können natürlich entweder sagen, wir schauen uns nochmal das schlechte Ende hier an. Oder wir gehen hier beim Alice-Pfad weiter. War kein Game Over. Nice. Ja, das stimmt. Es war kein Game Over. Die Frage ist, was machen wir jetzt? Bisschen mache ich heute noch. Dann betrayert Clover wohl einfach ab und Game Over. Ja, das könnte natürlich sein. Wäre eine Möglichkeit. Alice Route, okay. Das heißt hier jetzt, es gibt nicht genug antivirale Medikation. Da ist nämlich eine Sache, das ist eine Information, die einem in der Zeitlinie selber überhaupt nichts bringt, die aber mit etwas, was man in dieser Zeitlinie erfährt, tatsächlich also quasi einen Sinn ergibt. Und die Frage ist jetzt, okay, wir haben sowohl sowohl Alice als auch Quark, die beide unter Radical 6 leiden. Wir haben aber eine Dosis Axelavir. Wem helfen wir? Also beziehungsweise es gibt nicht genug und es hieß, wir wollen beide retten. Wie kriegt man das jetzt hin? Jetzt erstmal hier dieses I need to calm down, think. There had to be some way to save both of them. It was there, I knew it. IG es braucht offensichtlich viel Aufmerksamkeit und die haben wohl zu wenig geschenkt. Wer jetzt? Alice? Ach ja, gut. IG equals immunoglobulin.
Do you know what immunoglobulin is?
Ja, Antikörper.
It's another name for antibodies. Some people have antibodies that can fight off Radical 6.
IG replicator.
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff.
So it's like a copy machine.
Yeah. Probably copies IG, or whatever that is.
Any ideas?
Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
That's it. I've got it. The IG replicator in the laboratory. It's an immunoglobulin replication machine.
What?
It can copy immunoglobulin, antibodies. Luna just said Axelavir is made from antibodies. That means we can make more Axelavir.
Hold on a moment. There is a strange device in the laboratory that says IG replicator on it. Clover and I examined it thoroughly when we were in that room.
Yeah, we never could figure out what it did, though.
Exactly. My question is, how do you know about it, Sigma?
I saw it when I was in the laboratory.
When was that?
Probably when you were looking for Alice, right?
No. Dio was wrong. I hadn't gone to the laboratory when I was looking for Alice. I didn't think I'd ever been to the laboratory. So how did I know about the IG replicator?
If what he's saying is true, then we should be able to duplicate the Excelivir. That would mean we could cure Alice and Quark.
Let's go have a look then. The laboratory, right?
Yeah, no time to waste.
We all nodded. Wait. We can't leave them here all alone. Luna, do you think you could stay behind and look after them?
Oh, of course. I'd be happy to.
Alright then, let's go. Aber wir haben eine Rettung, ne? Aber ich habe mal gehört, viele kommen an diesem Punkt an und denken so, Moment mal, warum habe ich denn hier eine Lösung gefunden? Und dann fällt denen erst, wenn diese Situation aufkommt, das auf. Und das finde ich sehr schön. Aber gut, da sind wir im Labor. Dann machen wir mal ein neues Excelivir, ne?
So this is the lab, huh?
Yes.
Where's this IG replicator thing?
Right here. See?
So this can copy the Excelivir?
I think so.
What are we waiting for?
Calm down, alright? Don't rush me. I carefully lowered the small vial of Excelivir into the slot on the side of the machine. An empty vial already protruded from the other side. Presumably that was where the duplicated Excelivir would go. Ready? When I push this button, it should...
Skip it. Just press the damn thing.
Right. And pressed. Ist schon ziemlicher Hightech-Scheiß hier. Soweit gibt es nämlich in der Realität so noch nicht. Did it work?
Have a look. The empty vial has something in it now.
And the vial Sigma used remains as it was. It does not seem to have lost any of its contents.
So, it worked?
Would have been pretty bad if it hadn't.
Alright, let's get this thing back to the infirmary. I reached down and pulled both vials from the machine, intending to slip them deftly into my pocket. Ah, shit.
What happened?
Sorry, my hand slipped.
You dropped one of them?
Yeah, just one though.
What in the hell?
Jetzt, okay, im Chat steht was, hey, du so eine Geschichten vorliest, kannst du mehr davon machen. Also mehr als meinen wöchentlichen Output, ich habe einen Vollzeitjob. Nein, das klappt leider nicht. Zumindest nicht mit den Projekten, die ich nebenher mache, die mir auch sehr wichtig sind. Zum Beispiel mag ich Narrative Games, die ich so sporadisch streame. Und ich liebe meine wöchentliche Dungeons Dragons Runde. Also nein, ich habe nicht die Kapazitäten, mehr Geschichten vorzulesen. Tut mir leid, aber ich mache es in dem üblichen Pensum weiter.
What if you'd broken it, you idiot?
Come on. If it had broken, then we could just have made another copy. Before Tameoji could reply, Fi spoke.
Guys?
Erstmal, danke fürs Kompliment. Also, ich habe durchaus schon sehr interessante Reaktionen auf meine Stimme mitbekommen. Und ja, es ist durchaus eine sehr freundliche Sache, dieses Kompliment zu hören. Aber es ist, naja, also ich bin einfach froh, dass ich Leuten mit meiner Stimme eine Freude machen kann. Jetzt, okay, was ich beruflich mache. Ich bin tatsächlich, so bescheuert das klingt, Unternehmensberater, aber im Bereich Fördermittel. Das heißt, das ist so ein bisschen bescheuert. Ich komme eigentlich aus dem naturwissenschaftlichen Rahmen, bin dann über einen kurzen Umweg über die Pharmaberatung im Lehrberuf gelandet. Und über den Lehrberuf bin ich dann letzten Endes an der Stelle gelandet, wo ich aktuell bin. Das heißt,
Im Grunde befasse ich mich mit Unternehmen, die Forschung und Entwicklungszeug betreiben und stelle für die Förderanträge. Das ist mein Job. Also, wird nicht schlecht bezahlt und durchaus kriegt man sehr interessante Sachen mit. Aber es ist natürlich dann auch irgendwie, ja, also es gibt auch manche Sachen, wo ich mich frage, warum beantragen Leute dafür eine Förderung? Aber ist eine Sache, die mir durchaus Spaß macht. Manchmal ein bisschen stressig, wenn Nachforderungen reinkommen, aber generell, ich sag mal, das ist ein Job, den man immer noch halbwegs gut erklären kann. I was surprised to hear her voice coming from near my feet. I looked down to see her staring intently at something beneath the table.
You see? It did break!
No, the vial's fine. See?
She held it up in one hand, but didn't move her eyes. Jetzt kann sie ab und zu so wie zu Halloween so Specials machen, also zu bestimmten Anlässen. Interessant. Das dich erfüllt, ist doch super, ja. Das ist sehr freundlich. Ja, erstmal die Sache mit den Anlässen. Ja, ich schaue, wenn sich was ergibt. Es ist halt immer so diese Sache, wenn ich Geschichten vorlese, muss ich halt immer gucken, dass ich keine Copyright-Probleme kriege. Also Urheberrecht und sowas ist halt echt richtig scheiße. Darum kann ich zum Beispiel auch nicht einfach dieses Runeterra-Buch vorlesen, das vor einer Weile rauskam. Also eigentlich schon vor ein paar Jahren inzwischen, glaube ich. Oder dieses Ruination-Buch kann ich halt auch nicht vorlesen. Weil da gibt es halt Urheberrecht drauf und da sagt Riot dann auch, nee, so geht das aber nicht. Zum Beispiel die Universe-Geschichten sind alle Wort für Wort auch im League of Legends Wiki. Diese Geschichten haben nur entsprechende Zusammenfassungen. Und das ist ein bisschen schade. Aber so ist es dann halt. Ich muss dann schauen, vielleicht bietet sich irgendwas an. Ich kann mal schauen bei irgendwelchen älteren Romanreihen oder sowas, ob sich da mal was anbietet irgendwann, weil wird ja auch nicht mehr ewig dauern, bis ich mit den League of Legends Geschichten erstmal durch bin. Ich überlege gerade, vielleicht sollte ich mir mal die Drachenlanze-Bücher zu Gemüte führen. Da muss ich dann schauen, ob da noch irgendein Copyright dann bei einem Verlag oder so liegt. Oder bei den Autoren. Das ist halt auch immer diese Sache. Ich muss einfach schauen, ob man irgendwo gut copyright-freies Zeug herkriegt. Also am besten geht immer von toten Autoren natürlich. Aber auch Übersetzer haben teilweise dann an der Übersetzung Urheberrecht und es ist lästig, wie lange es dauert, bis irgendwas Public Domain wird. Und nein, ich habe nicht vor, irgendwelche Fanfictions vorzulesen, weil die sind meistens einfach nicht gut geschrieben. Tut mir leid. Aber gut. She held it up in one hand, but didn't move her eyes.
Then what the heck is going on down there?
Take a look.
She slid back from the table quickly and silently. The rest of us bent down to look. Bomb?
Whoa. Really?
Okay, danke Markus, dann bis zum nächsten Mal, sag ich mal. Jetzt ganze Bücher wäre übertrieben, so Kurzgeschichten passen viel besser zum YouTube- und Spotify-Format. Ja, man kann ja auf YouTube dann auch Sachen mal so... Kurzgeschichten sind generell angenehmer, klar. Aber ich habe ja durchaus mit dem ganzen Vorlesekram mit einem Buch angefangen. Wo ich inzwischen sage, das könnte ich deutlich besser vorlesen und... Na, irgendwann muss ich mir sowieso mal ein bisschen professionelleres Soundsetup zulegen, weil das hier... Ich laber gerade in USB-Mikro. Aber gut. Muss man einfach mal gucken.
That makes two then.
Guess Kay was right after all.
So there were more bombs.
So it would seem.
Was this here when you guys came through the first time?
No, it was not.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, and I looked real hard.
Then somebody must have said it while we were looking for Alice.
Who the hell would do that?
Dio, wir wissen, dass du das warst. We were all out looking for Alice. It could have been any of us.
No, not any of us. I was back in the infirmary. Quark was still out, so I was keeping an eye on him.
So we shouldn't consider you a suspect. Is that right?
Yeah, Quark's off the list too.
But Tenmyoji, you have no proof that she spent the entire time in the infirmary, do you?
What?
You could have quietly made your way to the laboratory, planted the bomb.
That's insane! Listen to yourself! There's no way in hell I'd have left Quark all by himself to go plant a goddamn bomb!
Tenmyoji was still staring furiously at Kay when Clover spoke up.
Hey, what's this thing?
I turned in time to see her grab something from under the table.
It looks like a memory card.
Where was it?
Right under the bomb. It was down on the floor under the table.
Could it have been put here by the same person who set the bomb? There was nothing like it here when we examined this room.
Do you think they dropped it they dropped it accidentally?
Unless it was left here intentionally, yes. I imagine so.
What do you think's on it?
Let's take a look. Could I see it for a minute?
Yeah, I guess so.
I plucked the card out of her hand and looked around the room. Nothing. Shoot. No dice. We'll need to plug it into something that can read memory cards, but I don't see anything here.
So what do we do?
Come on, if I knew, I'd be doing it.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Guys, I think maybe we should get back to the top floor.
Yeah, you're right. We've got what we came here for.
What should we do about the, bomb?
Not much we can do except leave it here. Alice said it'd be dangerous to touch them.
True, but
Drop it. We can talk about the bombs later. Right now we need to take care of Alice and Quark.
Right. So we'll go back to the infirmary, give them the Accelavir, then head to the Floor A warehouse.
Right.
This ought to do it. It might take a little while, but they should recover.
Her voice was quiet as she backed away from Alice and Quark. In her hand was the injection gun. She carefully removed the empty vial and placed it gently in the cabinet with the other one. While we were in the laboratory, Luna had moved Quark to a crude cot. They both looked peacefully as they slept. The madness I'd seen on their faces before was completely gone.
Are they really going to be all right?
Yes. The analysis I did on the vials confirmed that the duplicate was real Accelavir. The original was genuine too, of course. Now that they've been treated...
it's only a matter of time before the virus is eliminated.
I believe so, yes.
Oh man, what a relief.
Eine Frage muss ich jetzt aber mal stellen. Die Theorie war ja bisher, dass Luna Zero sein könnte. Wie passt das jetzt eigentlich mit dem Abbild von Zero zusammen, das wir gesehen haben? Da bin ich jetzt mal gespannt, was die Theorie dazu wird.
I was really worried.
Clover grinned. Agreed. I gave her a reassuring pat on the back.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
All right, everybody. We can be relieved later. Right now we need to get to the AB rooms and fast.
Damn. Don't even have time to catch our breath.
Come on, let's go. The Floor A warehouse is waiting. Huh? Where's Tenmyoji?
Oh, he stayed back in the infirmary.
Jetzt das Abbild war Lunas Ehemann Sunny. Ich verstehe schon, wie die Anspielung jetzt mit Sonne kommt, aber trotzdem. Man weiß es nicht. Aber lustige Idee. What?
Why?
Well, when we were all heading out, I noticed he wasn't doing anything. So I asked him if he was coming with us. And this is what I got.
I'm still worried about Quark and Alice. I think I'll stick around and make sure they're okay.
I see. That means that Phi's only opponent will be Dio.
One-on-one, huh?
Ugh.
That's cool. Nothing to worry about. I plan to choose Ally. You know why?
Because I've only got one BP.
Exactly. If you chose Ally and I betrayed you, your BP would drop below 0 and... well, we know what happens then. I want to win, but I'm not that desperate.
Dio, das kauft dir kein Schwein ab.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Tenmyoji and Dio are a pair. Tenmyoji only had one BP left. Since Dio said he's going to pick Ally, Phi can't really pick anything else. If she does, Tenmyoji will...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kay and I are gonna be going one-on-one too, right? Since Quark's still sleeping.
That is correct.
How many BP do you guys have?
I've got 6.
As do I.
This'll be a tough one then.
If one of them can get the other to Ally and then betray that person, the betrayer will have 9 points.
Look, Kay, I know you don't really have any reason to trust me, but...
I know. You would like us both to vote Ally, yes?
Yeah.
I agree. If we were to both betray, then we would gain no points. We would lose nothing either, but that's hardly relevant. If both of us cooperate, then we will both gain 2 points, which is much more beneficial.
Right. Okay, good. You're really gonna do it, right?
Yes,
Promise?
promise.
1 minute remains until Amberdex game polling closes.
Jetzt mal eine kleine Frage. Das muss ich nämlich mal kurz nachfragen. Jetzt hier bei allem, was so aus der blauen, also aus der Cyan-Route sich ergeben hat. Ist da eigentlich jemandem aufgefallen, dass es eine wichtige Sache gibt, die hier unterschiedlich ist im Vergleich zu den beiden Routen, abgesehen von den Bomben? Da gibt es nämlich einen wichtigen und relativ großen Unterschied. Da bin ich einfach mal gespannt, ob das jemandem bisher aufgefallen ist.
Shit, this is bad. We need to move, now.
Indeed. Shall we?
Dio, Kay, Phi, and Clover all took off immediately, heading into different AB rooms. Counting from the left, Dio went into room 3, Kay went into room 4, and Phi and Clover went into rooms 5 and 6 respectively. That left Luna and myself. What do you think about taking the one on the far left?
Sounds good.
With that settled, we headed into AB room number 1. Und wir müssen uns natürlich entscheiden, Ally oder Betray gegen Luna. Jetzt dafür habe ich ein bisschen viel zwischen den Strängen hin und her gehüpft. Ja, das stimmt. Kleiner Tipp. Infirmary, also das Krankenzimmer. Da liegt der große Unterschied.
"30 seconds remain until Amberdex game polling closes."
It's probably a little late to say this, but you know Alice is still in the infirmary. So,
You're saying we should pick Ally, right? Since Alice is going to default to that anyway.
yes.
I know. It's not really fair to betray somebody who isn't voting. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be sappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. Gab's da nicht ein Lied? Ach, egal. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the nonary game didn't seem so scary.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, Ally oder Betray? Zahlen wir es ihr heim und sagen jetzt, okay, wir nutzen es aus, dass sie nicht dass sie nicht Betray wählen kann? Oder sind wir freundlich? Alice wird Clover wieder ihren Auftrag gegeben haben, dass sie entkommen soll, heißt, sie wählt wieder Betray gegen Kay. Ja, ist eine Idee. Ich sag mal, wir haben gerade sowieso nur einen Punkt. Also wir können so oder so nicht entkommen. Müssen wir trotzdem jetzt überlegen, was wir wählen. Wir kommen eh nicht raus, also. Was nehmen wir? Nehmen wir Ally und machen Cleaver ein schlechtes Gewissen. Ja, okay. Aber sie jetzt Cleaver zu nennen, ist auch ein bisschen gemein.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. Alright, let's go have a look at the results.
Okay.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Das hat ja mal nicht so gut... Oh. Moment, was? Da ist was sehr schief gegangen, möchte ich meinen. Da ist was richtig, richtig, richtig schief gegangen, möchte ich meinen. Wow, wow, wow.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No. That's not possible. How can Alice's vote be betray? It was a question I would never know the answer to. My wrist barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soperol. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Oh no! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Sigma!
No. Why?
Okay, aber wir als Robo-Sigma sterben doch nicht, oder? Das ist die Frage. My eyelids felt like they were made of lead, but I forced them open. Ich möchte kurz anmerken, die Robo-Sigma-Theorie ist auch noch nicht bestätigt. Everything was growing blurry, but I noticed that the door on the second AB room was open. No one had gone into that room. I'd watched them all. And yet there she stood, an apparition that couldn't possibly be real. Alice. The world was gradually growing black and my mouth refused to form words, but my head echoed with questions. How? Why? What was she doing here? Oh, there. Had she run in at the last moment after Luna and I entered our room? But even if she had, why choose betray? Then the darkness closed over my mind as well, and my questions were gone forever. Tja, scheiße gelaufen. So. Wie gesagt, scheiße gelaufen. Was machen wir jetzt? Sehen wir uns noch das schlechte Ende für Temioji an oder gehen wir jetzt hier den Weg, bei dem wir wirklich weiterkommen? Was sollen wir machen? Also zumindest sind Robo Sigma die Lichter ausgegangen. Das kann man schon mal sagen. Das Betäubungsmittel scheint durchaus zu wirken. Ich nutze mal kurz dann die Gelegenheit, hier Film auf was zu antworten. Aber gut, wo geht's jetzt hin? Na gut, Tenmyoji Game Over, ja gut. Dann wählen wir jetzt hier also Betray. So. Dann hast du nächstes Mal mehr freudige Enden und Dialoge. Ja, wer sagt, dass ich hier noch nicht weitermache? So. Betray.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what's the deal?
Quark had nothing to do with it. I entered the vote.
So why did you choose Betray?
Couldn't I ask you the same thing? I don't really think this is the time for a fight, though. Look, Clover's over by the door.
What? Oh no. Aber genau, wir hatten bisher noch keine richtige Antwort, warum eigentlich Temioji in dieser Wahl Betray wählt.
The number 9 door.
Fuck, she opened it.
Ugh!
Why?
Clover, wait!
Clover, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm going to call the others.
What?
I'll get justice for Alice.
Justice? Wait, do you mean?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Time for me to go. No! Please, Clover, wait!
Like hell, I'm just gonna let you walk out of here.
Dio leapt at Clover, his fists raised. Clover easily avoided him and moved toward the door.
Goodbye.
I caught one last glimpse of her face as she slid through the door. It was a mask of ice.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Ja, da geht's schon nicht weiter. So passiert's auch manchmal. So. Aber wir haben noch einen weiteren Punkt, wo wir weiter können. Und da mache ich auch noch weiter. Komm, warum nicht? Einfach mal hier. Müssen wir jetzt Betray wählen. Man kennt es ja. Nur, dass die da einfach aufsteht und hinter uns da durch die Tür geht und dann sagt, hey, ja, Betray klingt schon mal gut. Warum der Skip jetzt hier so langsam ist, weiß ich auch nicht. So. Gut, Alice war bisher bei uns ja auch immer so ein bisschen Schrödingers Katze, aber gut. Mal schauen, ob das jetzt ähnlich abläuft oder ob sie dann doch Betray gewählt hat. Luna and I stepped out of the AB room.
Why? What happened to... It's not fair to betray someone who isn't voting. I thought...
There was nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I'd picked Betray instead. I had almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making the decision. Perhaps I'd been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that had moved my finger to the Betray button against my will. Right, well, we should go see the results.
Really? We already know what they are. It's just simple math.
The look in her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran toward the projector. Anything to get away from those eyes.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Okay, das ist schon mal gleich geblieben, aber das ist wohl die deprimierendste Runde von allen. Keiner hat irgendwem vertraut. Gut, Dio hätte ich auch nicht vertraut, aber trotzdem.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Vor allem, dass Dio auch lügt und sagt, hey, komm, ich nehme auf jeden Fall Ally. Ich will dich ja nicht umbringen. Und dann so einen Scheiß abzieht. Dio ist so ein Schweinehund einfach.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Und vor allem so offensichtlich versuchen, jemanden umzubringen. What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes and looked again.
No. How can Alice's vote be betray? That's not possible. Alice. She was standing inside the secondary room from the left. The room that should have been empty. Why? My mind was still reeling. Where had she come from? As I was trying to form a sentence, she began to move toward us. From around me I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprise and confusion. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh?
Du hättest uns fast umgebracht, verdammt!
Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it?
Sagt die das allen Ernstes, wenn wir in Lebensgefahr schweben? Alter Schwede, ist die dreist.
Coward.
Me, a coward? You've got some balls saying that to me after you picked betray. Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you? Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But you should still be under the effects of the anesthetic.
Yes, well, I still am. A bit. I have a throbbing headache, and I can barely stand. It's horrible. I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people.
Das kenne ich aber in einem gewissen Maße auch, zumindest bei Lidocain. Das ist so dieses typische lokale Betäubungsmittel, das man beim Zahnarzt kriegt und sowas. Das Zeug wirkt bei mir so extrem schlecht. Also es gibt andere, da setzt man so die Spritze ans Zahnfleisch und bei denen ist die halbe Gesichtshälfte, oder ist quasi das halbe Gesicht taub. Und bei mir ist es so, ja, Dosis, warten wir mal ein paar Minuten. Spürst du noch was? Yep. Okay, noch mal ein paar Minuten warten. Spürst du noch was? Ja. Okay, geben wir noch eine Dosis. Ein paar Minuten später. Spürst du noch was? Ah, so langsam wird's taub. Ich glaube, wir können anfangen. Und dann so, sobald die Behandlung fertig ist, 5 Minuten lang danach ist komplett taub und dann fängt es schon wieder an zu kribbeln. Also das ist bei mir echt mit Betäubungsmitteln richtig ekelhaft, zumindest bei diesem.
A result of my training. I have a feeling Zero Senior knew that. They gave me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on and I got here as fast as I could.
So he showed up right after we'd gone into the AB room?
Yes. Right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right. What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be the right thing to do, didn't it? You two chose betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
Yes.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass. You chose betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I'd picked ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do, right?
So what if I was?
Are you serious? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1 BP. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid. I knew you'd choose betray. There was...
Tell the truth.
That is the truth. Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here? Look at those results. 2 other people just tried to kill someone.
Phi and Dio.
Yes. If Dio had chosen ally, Phi would have killed Tenmyoji. And if she'd chosen ally, Dio would have killed her.
I don't want to be rude, but it looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another. Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, the other one would have 9 BP right now.
I turned to look at the results again. Before, I'd only been looking at my own. I hadn't realized that there was only one word all across the roster. Betray. Whatever trust we'd managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in a cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You've probably already all figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never gonna get out of here. We need to work together. I might as well have been talking to a wall.
My apologies, Sigma, but I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
Okay, Grog. Tut mir leid, das musste jetzt sein, weil ich bin Vox Machina-Fan. Also ich finde die Serie zum Beispiel auch ganz nett. Und der Sprecher, Travis Willingham, spricht da halt Grog. Und jetzt kurz zu der Sache, die im Chat steht. Ich gehe davon aus, du meinst auf Spotify. Ich sag's so, Spotify ist für mich sowas komplett Sekundäres. Das habe ich auch schon mehrfach in dem Projekt erwähnt. Ich verstehe, dass Leute das da lieber hören, aber ich hau das da raus, wenn ich die Zeit und die Muße gerade dazu habe und gerade nichts Besseres zu tun habe. Und je öfter mich Leute fragen, desto eher denke ich mir, boah, jetzt habe ich da keinen Bock drauf. Aber gut, weiter. Ansonsten gilt auf dem YouTube-Kanal im Wochentakt Samstag 17 Uhr. Okay.
I'll be leaving too.
Da müsste ich ihn jetzt eigentlich Vax nennen, aber gut.
Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution. Sorry.
Dio.
Well, in that case.
Ach, jetzt entsprechend dann mit Latein für Phi. Et tu Phi.
Yeah, sorry.
Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See? There's your answer. In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves.
Tja, daran sieht man, warum Libertarismus nicht funktioniert. Entschuldigung, der musste jetzt sein.
So I would appreciate it if you could not treat me like I'm the only villain here. Come on, Clover. Let's go.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay? I was really worried, you know?
I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Before long, they reached the yellow door and disappeared beyond it.
Everyone's gone.
You aren't going to leave too? Eigentlich müsste ich sie dann jetzt Vex nennen. Egal. Ich höre jetzt auf mit den Synchronsprechern.
No,
Are you sure? I chose Betray.
I know. But I still believe in you, Sigma. I think your hand must have just slipped or something. Right?
My chest hurt, and when I blinked I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too. Sigma, could you show me your bracelet?
Why?
Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. I'm a cyan pair. What about you?
I'm a magenta pair.
I wonder what the others are.
They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
We've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah. Physically and emotionally, I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everybody chose betray. Including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common foe. Like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice and Quark the Accelavir. Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, then everyone else would work together against them.
Right.
But how do we figure out who it is?
Well, do you have any clues?
Clues, huh? That's right. The memory card. I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her.
What's this?
I told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. Jetzt erstmal zu der Sache, die jetzt gerade im Chat steht. Ich hasse es, wenn man meine eigenen Worte gegen mich verwendet, aber ich kann verstehen, was du meinst. Ja, also in dem Fall, ich verstehe, warum Leute nachfragen, ich verstehe es auch generell, es ist praktischer, aber letzten Endes mache ich es für YouTube. Spotify ist so eine Nebensache, ja okay, meinetwegen. Ich finde es nur blöd, dass ich es immer wieder sagen muss. Und das ist das, was mich daran so ein bisschen stört. Aber ich verstehe auch durchaus die Position, hey, man hört es lieber auf Spotify, weil es praktischer ist und so weiter. Und ja, kann ich nachvollziehen. Aber es gibt so ein paar Sachen, wenn die immer wieder kommen, dann ist es halt irgendwann lästig. Genauso wie ich mich frage, wie viele von den scheiß Hero Wars Werbungen ich eigentlich noch blockieren muss, bis ich keine mehr kriege. Aber gut. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's on it though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader.
Oh, I guess we can't really use it then. Oh, wait a second. You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary. I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Dio and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then...
Yes! I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover and Tenmyoji. Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we'd left him, asleep on the bed.
What are you doing here?
I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb in the memory card and how we'd come to the infirmary in hopes that we could discover the contents of the ladder.
Okay.
Then stick it in already!
Clover, sag das nicht so!
Go ahead.
Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters. Ich möchte kurz anmerken, wir hatten ja schon mal hier eine Memory Card, aber dann hatten wir eine Nachricht, interessanterweise mit derselben, also gesprochen von Laura Bailey auch wieder, also dieselbe Sprecherin wie Luna. Man hört es nur nicht, weil sie als Luna halt die Stimme deutlich verstellt. Über 6 Milliarden Tote, die von ihr wohl umgebracht wurden. Was auch immer das damit so zu tun hat, das weiß man auch noch nicht. Die Frage ist, was das jetzt bringt. What is this?
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set.
In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat.
Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or something?
It doesn't look random to me. I think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there?
No, it doesn't look like it.
So all we get is this gibberish. Hey Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Myrmidons. Den Namen haben wir schon mal gehört. Im Dio-Ende. For some reason, I felt like I'd heard that name before.
What are the Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb?
It was said by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Damn, I have got a ton of questions for you. But let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say?
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
Ich bin aus Versehen auf den Knopf gekommen, sorry.
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See.
Not much we can do then. We can come back to that code stuff later. I've got another question. Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code?
That's...
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. Just what the hell kind of a job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm not...
Really? And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Before I could blink, she'd leapt up and run out of the room. Hey, wait! Alice! I took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover?
Clover?
You already know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
What? Why?
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared.
Die Musik im Hintergrund. Das ist wieder dieses Lied, das wir von Lunas Spieluhr schon kennen. Bluebird Lamentation heißt es im Soundtrack. Und das ist ein Lied, das mich immer so... Oh, wenn ich das höre, ist mir zum Heulen zumute, aber auf eine gute Art. Wobei nicht nur auf eine gute Art. Es sind einfach... Wenn dieses Lied kommt, dann weißt du, es wird emotional. Teilweise sehr schön und teilweise einfach nur traurig.
Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical 6.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
What? Do what?
Kill me! Get it over with!
What the hell, Alice? I'm not going to kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're lying! I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. Then another and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it.
Why are you doing this? You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know. About myself. And about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What, crying? I don't remember any crying.
Good. Alright then.
Alice took a deep breath and began. Das heißt, ich darf jetzt wieder vorlesen, ich werde keine Frauenstimme nachmachen. Aber jetzt erstmal zu dem Kommentar, gut zu wissen, dass Alice sich in der anderen Zeitlinie jetzt harte Vorwürfe macht. Alice ist, würde ich sagen, nicht zwingend ein schlechter Mensch. Sie ist halt sehr impulsiv. Aber gut, weiter. Ich lese es jetzt einfach in einer normalen Stimme vor. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which was why he moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States. But by my 9th birthday, we were... Ach, verdammt, ich verließ mich gerade wieder. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full-ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now at least I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. Das haben wir schon mal gehört. Left war der Bruder von eben Brother, der Anführer generell dieser Organisation. Free the Soul hießen die, glaube ich. Und naja, die Klone hießen halt auch alle Left. Das heißt, eigentlich heißt auch Dio ja Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. But trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. Brother's supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them.
Then one day I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, And when I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. Übrigens eine Sache. In dem vorherigen Bildschirm sah man im Hintergrund so ein Symbol. Dieses Symbol war zum Beispiel auch auf dieser seltsamen Kutte oder diesen seltsamen Roben, die Snake anhatte, als wir den aus dem Sarg geholt haben. Im ersten Teil. Was das zu bedeuten hat? My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. Oh, interessante Information, nicht wahr? More specifically, I suppose H was a member of Free the Soul, and very committed to their cause. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try and give you a quick rundown. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousnesses of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler to just call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with a threat of this magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. Ich glaube, H als Abkürzung für Ace ist in dem Fall einfach, weil der Nachname ja Hongo ist, aber gut. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All of the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last in a basement room I found her. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he'd just been dumped there, and when I got to him his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. Da sieht man wieder das Symbol. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He'd said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, I must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they'd killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me. Or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arms were 2 rows of numbers comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who'd put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time our operation would succeed. This time I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time, we gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared.
Und da haben wir jetzt einige Infos bekommen.
So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the EB room?
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon. Right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's a key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait. A long string of numbers? Could that be... Und da haben wir tatsächlich schon den Schlüssel. Seven 8153610988388094241990551.
What the hell?
I was almost as surprised as she was. The numbers had just kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing. Alice looked at me incredulously, and I stared back.
Where did... Wait. Can you say that again?
7815361098388094241990551.
That's 198,449,351 to the third power.
What?
That number you just told me. Prime factor decomposition on that number gets you 198,449,351 to the third power.
Also ist das eine Primzahl? Also dieses 198449351. Ja, okay. Verstehe. You're talking about reducing an integer to a series of prime numbers that you multiply together to get it, right? Like, if you have 30, then you'd get 2 times 3 times 5, right?
Exactly. You probably learned that in junior high, right?
Ja, das ist eine ziemlich simple Sache, da erinnere ich mich auch dran. Das ist, glaube ich, Unterstufe Mathematik. So you're saying that 189,494,351 is a prime. Nee, 49.000, so. Ja. Ich bin es im Kopf durchgegangen. Einfacher Dreisatz. Genau, einfacher Dreisatz vor allem. Dreisatz. And if you multiply it by itself 3 times, you'd get 7815361098838094241990551.
Yes.
Don't tell me you just did all of that in your head.
I did do all of that in my head. Simple mental arithmetic.
What? No, no way. That's impossible.
I told you. I'm better at math than most people.
Ich glaube, das nennt man Inselbegabung. That's not better at math.
Look at you. You just recited a huge string of numbers. That seems pretty astounding, too. Where did you find that number anyway?
I didn't know what to say. Das sieht man halt hier plötzlich so. Die Garden. What is the long string of numbers? Log number 5. Finde ich auch super. What would I tell her? That it just came to me?
Can't tell me, huh? Fine. I'm pretty sure that's the key to the code, though. I know the Myrmidons use prime factors for their keys. And there aren't a lot of 25-digit numbers that turn out to be the third power of a prime number. I think there's a very good chance that number you memorized was specifically created by someone.
Could you explain that with small words?
Well, look at the prime factors of your number. 198,449,351 to the third power. I think that's our hint for cracking the code. You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the monitor?
I think the first row was CQUJHNMTEONERAXDFMIOVP. Okay, der Kerl hat einfach ein fotografisches Gedächtnis.
And the second row?
BYOLWXYPXSVZEQGTKRTLED. I think. Then they just repeat.
Wow, you've got a pretty impressive memory. We could really use someone like you back at the...
Well, keep going. How do we decode that?
You use 198,449,351 to point you to the right letters.
How do we do that?
Well, the first number is 1, so take the first letter. The next number is 9, so go 9 letters over from the first one. Then 8 from that one. Just keep going until you get something. Make sense?
I ran over what she'd said in my head. The prime number Alice had given me was 198449351. So what would we get if we picked out the letters like she'd explained? First letter would be C from the top left. Then you'd move 9 to the right, which would give you O. Then 8 more to the right. Eventually we'd get a word. That word was... Decode the password using blah blah. We'll have 6 chances to succeed. Fail and the game is over. The code sheet won't be displayed when you input your answers, so it would be wise to solve it now. The key is... Okay. Moment, das heißt jetzt... C ist 1. Jetzt bei Q... Moment. Dann danach auf O. Moment. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Nee, Moment. Ich bin verwirrt. Wie ist der eben auf ein O gekommen? Moment. 9 nach rechts. Käme man auf O. D, E, F, G. Ach nee, Quatsch, ich Idiot. Man ist ja auf dem Ding. Man guckt auf dem Teil weiter. Okay, weiter. Also C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. O. Jetzt 8 weiter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. M. 1, 2, 3, 4. P. 1, 2, 3, 4. Compl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. E. 3. 1, 2, 3. Wahrscheinlich complete erstmal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Completed. Okay, completed. So. Closing this window will put you to the take you to the input screen. Also abgeschlossen, was auch immer damit gemeint war. I did it. Completed. That's it. That's the answer.
Completed? Are you sure?
Yeah. I did exactly what you told me to do. And the word I got is completed. Well, actually it's completed, completed, completed. The code and the letters repeat every 2 lines. It just repeats.
Well, I can't remember the code like you can, but if you're certain, I believe you.
I'm definitely certain.
All right, then. I wonder what completed is supposed to mean, though.
What? Aside from the obvious, you mean? I'm guessing here it means mission complete. So that's what the transmitter was for.
Huh? What are you talking about? What transmitter?
I barely even heard her. Suddenly my mind was full of memories that hadn't been there a moment before. It was like a wave had washed away the sand, revealing a bed of precious gems underneath.
Damn it. Why hadn't I realized it before? I could remember a series of numbers, but not this? At least I remembered it now. Dio was a member of the Myrmidons. And not just any member, he was their leader. That meant he had to be the one who'd planted the bombs.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Then answer my question. What the hell was that? What's this about a transmitter?
I didn't trust myself to try and explain it to her. More than likely she'd just think I was insane. Even I could barely make sense of the sudden influx of new information.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of the Myrmidons.
If I was, do you really think I'd reveal myself like this?
Point.
Out of nowhere, Clover appeared.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Really?
We're all down in the floor B warehouse. Well, all of us but Luna and Quark.
Why?
We've still got 45 minutes until the wide doors open.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought UK and Quark didn't know about the wide doors.
Tenmyoji told us about them. He said he'd show us where they were, so we all followed him down to the floor B warehouse.
I'm assuming you left Quark with Luna?
Yeah. Anyway, when we showed up, Phi and Kay were already there.
So?
Well, all of a sudden, Phi, Tenmyoji, and Dio all started yelling at each other.
What?
Why? Did something happen?
According to Clover, the last AB game had been the cause of their fight. Even though Tenmyoji only had 1 BP, Phi had chosen Betray. They started to fight, and since Dio had pressed Betray on behalf of his team, eventually he got dragged in too.
That seems odd. Phi only had 1 BP too. Her choice seems like a perfectly valid defensive move.
Ugh! Just come with me! Kay's trying to calm them down, but there's only one of him.
Okay, okay. Come on, Alice, let's go.
Coming!
Wird interessant. Ich glaube, es wird Zeit, jemanden zu enttarnen. Warehouse B. Ich muss mal kurz eine Kleinigkeit nachgucken, wenn mich das Spiel lässt. So. Okay, gut. Es fehlen immer noch Informationen, um an einer gewissen anderen Stelle weiterzukommen. So. All 4 of them were still there when we arrived. They seemed to have calmed down a bit, but the tension in the air was almost visible. I felt like I'd stepped into a room full of flammable gas. Even the smallest spark could turn the whole place into a raging inferno. Even Kay, usually so calm and collected, was standing ramrod straight with his hand balled into a fist at his side. I looked at Alice, pursed my lips, and then headed over to the angry knot of people occupying most of the room. Clover told me what's going on. This whole thing is stupid. You need to knock it off.
Stupid? What about this is stupid? We're talking about my life, you self-righteous dick.
I know. But yelling at each other isn't going to solve your problem. The best thing for us to do right now is to trust each other and get through this. Wouldn't you agree?
Hard to trust someone who tried to kill me.
Same to you. I told you letting Dio vote was a stupid idea. What did you think he was gonna do? You might as well have pressed the button yourself.
I couldn't just leave Quark alone.
That's no excuse. And where do you get off telling me I shouldn't have picked Betray? Did you even think that through? What, I was supposed to pick Ally? If I'd done that, I'd be dead right now.
I could say the same thing to you. Damn good thing Dio didn't choose Ally.
Please, that's enough from both of you. Sigma's right. This isn't the time to be bickering with each other.
Oh, you don't get to talk. You tried to betray Clover and escape on your own.
Perhaps. But I think that's better than nearly killing someone.
Well, I only did it so that she wouldn't kill Tenmyoji.
Ah, god damn it. Enough already. I roared with fury and my voice echoed and rebounded off the walls of the warehouse. Everyone fell silent. I didn't know how long that silence would last, so I decided to put it all on the table. There was only one way I was going to be able to take control of the situation. Guys, listen to me. We really don't have time for this. I was met with a number of glares, but I soldiered on. See, the thing is, I figured out who planted the bombs.
What? Is this what you were talking about earlier?
Sort of, yeah. I know which one of you it is.
Well, spit it out then.
Please, explain what's going on here.
I don't think I need to. They're going to admit their guilt in just a few minutes.
What?
You're all going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Or I guess I should say Dio's mouth.
What are you on? You think I set those bombs?
Yes, I do.
Hey, if you're gonna accuse me, you better have some pretty damn good evidence, pal.
I'm not accusing you. I'm just stating a fact.
Oh yeah? Where the hell did you get that fact?
Fun as it was, I knew taunting alone wouldn't be enough to make Dio confess. He just played dumb. He was good at it, and I'd get nothing. That meant I was going to have to trick him. Well, you see, I'm actually from Free the Soul.
Free the Soul? What's that? Some kind of hippie shoe company?
Don't play dumb, Dio. Or should I call you Left? Brother ordered me to come here. To keep an eye on you. It was quick, but for just a moment I saw his eyes twitch. I lapped on that moment of weakness like a hungry dog on a steak. Fine. Skepticism is understandable. Admirable even. But perhaps this will convince you. I pressed forward, pulling out every fact I could remember. I told Dio about Brother's background and how his younger brother, Left, had been murdered. I mentioned casually that the Myrmidons were all clones of a single person. So? Still not convinced? How about this? 78153610988380942419905551. Do a little prime factor decomposition on that and you'll get 198449351 to the third power. If I'm not who I say I am, how on earth could I possibly know that?
What? No, that's not possible.
Finally. So let's start over, shall we? I was sent here to watch your every move. It seems our wise and noble brother doesn't trust you. He suspects betrayal.
No! You're lying!
I assure you I'm not. But if you don't believe me, why don't you go outside and call him yourself with the transmitter?
No! No! You have to be lying! Brother trusts me! That's why he chose me for this mission! Why would he make me the leader of the Myrmidons if he...
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
I said, why would he have made me the leader of the Myrmidons if...
I grinned.
Wait, what the hell? Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, Dio. I've never even seen Brother.
What the hell was all that? How did you know all those things?
Dunno. Maybe I was divinely inspired.
Don't give me that shit!
What's going on?
What are these myrmidons?
Dio and I stared at one another while Clover and Tenmyoji quickly explained to Phi and Kay about the memory card and the number 2 bomb, and about the code we'd found that was from a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
So you mean to say someone from the Myrmidons planted the bombs?
And Dio pretty much just admitted to doing it?
Yeah.
Bastards. I'll never forgive you.
I heard a low, furious muttering behind me and turned to see Alice, her lips pulled back into a snarl.
I am going to kill you!
Her voice rose to a scream as she charged towards Dio. He ducked out of the way smoothly and pulled something from his pocket.
Whoa there. I like my women a little feisty. But you're taking it a little too far, sweetheart. Tone it down.
What?
You see this? You know what it is, don't you?
Oh my god. Is that the detonator?
Exactly. And I assume you know what happens if I press this button?
Yes. I think I do. I'm guessing it'll set off both of the bombs.
Well, I wouldn't say both.
You mean there's still a number 1 bomb we haven't found?
Correct. And there's one more, too.
No. There are 4 bombs?
Exactly. I planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3, but there's also one more. Bomb number 0. Add all that up and you're looking at about 4 tons of explosive power. Those go off and it's all over. That's enough oomph to turn this whole place into a smoking crater.
Aren't you forgetting something?
That'd kill you too.
So, I'm ready for that. I've got spares.
Spares? Is that what Sigma was talking about?
Yeah, clones.
I heard Alice whisper something to Clover.
Let's go, Clover. Show him all that training wasn't for nothing.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Right.
Before I had a chance to ask them what was going on, they moved.
Die, you bastard! Yeah!
She roared and leapt toward Dio, Clover following just behind. Alice threw a punch at Dio's face, and as he dodged, Clover spun out from behind her. Dio grunted and turned to focus on Alice, but Clover darted in and snatched the detonator from his hand.
Clover, get him!
Right! Sigma, catch!
Huh? Before I could respond, Clover had thrown the detonator at me. I scrambled to grab it out of the air and held it to my chest.
Damn it! Stop! Let me go! Still let go of me, you asshole!
Yelling didn't do him any good, and Dio found himself subdued by the skillful teamwork of Alice and Clover. Strangely though, once they had a hold of him, he stopped struggling. In der Position sollte man auch nicht sich zu sehr wehren, da kugelt man sich sehr schnell den Arm aus. I was reminded of a gazelle with its neck in the mouth of a lion. Had he surrendered? Or did he have some trick up his sleeve? It didn't feel right. I didn't have to wait long for my misgivings to prove true. The detonator in my hand suddenly began to flash. What?
Ha! Serves you right.
What are you laughing at?
You! Her! All of you! God, you're stupid!
What? Why?
See that detonator you threw to Sigma? You activated it. If it gets more than a meter away from me, it sets itself off. We figured someone might try to take it away, so we put in a little safeguard. since you two were kind enough to take it away from me. The bombs have gone from remote control to countdown timer. Go ahead and destroy the detonator if you want. Won't make any difference now. The bombs are gonna go off no matter what.
How long do we have?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh no.
My condolences.
Well, what can we do to stop them?
I told you that already. First, we need the device that allows us to input information. Then we plug it into each bomb and enter the codes.
Hey Alice, who the hell are you? How do you know all this?
None of your damn business. Just tell me where the input device is.
Well, that's none of your damn business. Fuck! Stop! You're gonna break it!
Ja, das würde man ein bisschen anders von der Haltung machen, aber man erkennt, es ist schon nah an dem Griff, wie er eigentlich funktioniert. Und ja, man könnte relativ mühelos über den Arm ausgucken. Ich würde den Ellbogen ein bisschen runterdrücken und die Hand nach oben hebeln. Das würde besser funktionieren, aber auch das, irgendwann macht's plopp oder ratsch und das ist nicht so gut.
Of course. That's the plan.
Please, stop!
Just tell me what I want to know.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's in my coat, the right-hand pocket.
Clover, check it out. Right.
She nodded and started digging through his pockets. After a few minutes...
It's no use! There's nothing here!
Did you lie to me?
No, I swear, keep looking.
Oh, wait. There is something in here.
Clover pulled her hand from his pocket and held it out. Is that a pill? Like for medicine?
Hey, what is this?
Huh? I can't see it. Bring it over here.
Clover frowned and moved closer to Dio, holding the pill out toward him. Suddenly he moved, his right hand snaking out to grab the pill from Clover's hand. Before anyone could react, he shoved it into his mouth. I heard a tiny crack as he bit down on it. Almost immediately he grimaced in pain. Okay, ich sehe gerade Unterarm rein und dann... Ja, Polizeigriff. Ja, das wäre, wenn man nur eine Kontrolle haben will, aber in dem Fall geht es ums Hebeln. Und das ist in der Position theoretisch möglich, aber das könnte man eher nur, dass man den dazu bringt, sich zu krümmen. Den Arm brechen kriegst du nicht mehr hin, wenn du den Arm da reingeschoben hast. Ich kenne das, es ist halt ein simpler Kreuzfesselgriff. Aber es ist halt trotzdem so eine Sache, wenn du halt dem anderen im Zweifel den Arm brechen willst, dann brauchst du schon 2 Arme dafür. Schmerzen zufügen kannst du zwar auch so, aber prinzipiell kannst du dich immer wegkrümmen. Außer du bist halt sehr unbeweglich mit dem Arm.
Shit!
What? What was that?
Poison, I guess.
What?
Damn! How could I be so stupid?
His eyes rolled up into his head and flecks of spittle began to trickle out from the corners of his mouth. I grabbed him by the hair and shook. What the hell are you doing? Where's the input device?
Lost it. In my couch. Back home.
Don't screw with me.
Fine. Don't tell us. How about you give us the deactivation codes instead?
Deactivation? You guys are persistent. Fine. Not gonna do you much good anyway. I'll tell you. But you only get 1. This is the deactivation code for Bomb 3. Ready? LXQ LHC NMR.
What about the other three? Tell us the other three. He didn't even seem to hear me.
My body will be a part of the foundation of a bright future.
His voice was weak, and more foam was dribbling out of his mouth.
Such a beautiful world. May brother live in everlasting glory.
Those were the last words Dio spoke. He died with a strange, happy smile. Damn.
He only gave us the password for one of the bombs. This is bad. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
How much time have we got?
25 minutes.
Are you sure?
Yes. When he told us the time, I checked my bracelet. It said exactly 30 minutes.
You mean the bombs are gonna go off the same time the next set of doors opens?
Yes. The time on your bracelet is the time we have left.
Oh. So, 25 minutes.
This isn't good. I was hoping that we might be able to escape through the white doors, but
It takes 5 minutes for the primary door to open and close. So,
yes, I know. There's no way we can get through them before the explosion happens.
Well, there's no point just standing around. We should start looking. We need 3 things. The password input device.
And the remaining 2 bombs, right?
Right.
we also need passwords for all the bombs other than number 3.
Exactly.
Maybe Dio has a note or something.
Hold on. Let me check.
She knelt down and quickly checked his pockets and sleeves, then sat back on her heels, frustrated.
Damn. He's clean.
She looked pale.
Then we'll just have to hope we find it somewhere. Tenmyoji, can you go tell Luna what's happened?
Right. I'm on it.
Good. The rest of you, let's move out. We can do this. Let's go.
We all took off at a run, heading to different parts of the building. But all of our searching turned up nothing. And as we searched, the clock kept ticking. Then at last the chromatic doors opened.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Our time had run out. We watched the white doors open. Were they doors to heaven? Or to hell? The thought barely had time to flutter through my mind before everything went white. We didn't even have time to say goodbye. 1,000 emotions flooded my brain in those last moments. Why? How? How had we ended up up this way? Then a blistering wave of heat, like the surface of the sun itself, wiped out any lingering thoughts. So. Und da, ja, das war eine ordentliche Explosion. My consciousness slipped away into a bottomless pool of darkness. Neither heaven nor hell, only the void. Und das war das Alice-Ende. Auch das speichern wir uns mal kurz ab und da haben wir jetzt heute gleich 2 weitere Enden durchgehauen. Und wenn wir jetzt mal hier wieder hinschauen, sehen wir, wir haben jetzt sowohl hier die Möglichkeit weiterzukommen, als auch hier. Weil wir jetzt jeweils wissen,
wer die Bombe platziert hat. Also man merkt, das Ganze geht so langsam in den Endspurt über. Die Frage ist natürlich nur, wo kriegen wir zum Beispiel also die ID, die wir hier noch brauchen, das Passwort haben wir ja schon von Kay bekommen. Wo geht's dann weiter? Aber das machen wir nächstes Mal. Ich mache hier Schluss für heute. Eine Sache allerdings, die ich gemerkt habe heute mal wieder, es gibt einfach so... es gibt Leute, die sind einfach so ein bisschen... Warum unterstellen einem Leute eigentlich Dinge, die man nie gesagt hat? Das verstehe ich nicht. Also, ich hatte da so eine kleine Diskussion, da ging es einfach darum, dass jemand sich aufgeregt hat, was wäre denn schlimm daran, wenn man eine Partnerin will, die möglichst geringen Bodycount hat, so wenig Erfahrung wie möglich. Wo ich mir halt denke, naja, per se darf man ja Vorlieben haben. Das möchte ich jetzt noch kurz loswerden. Aber das Problem ist, woher kommt diese Vorliebe? Weil es ist ja nicht so, dass du eine Person siehst und die direkt ansiehst, das ist jetzt bei ihr so und so. Und die Persönlichkeit, ja klar, es gibt so ein paar Sachen, da kann man über den Bodycount dann reden, so vielleicht sagt das ein bisschen was über das Verhältnis zur Sexualität aus und sowas. Meinetwegen, über sowas kann man reden und da kann man dann auch überlegen, ob es wert ist, das dann so in seine Überlegungen mit einzubringen. Aber in dem Fall ging es dann darum, dass ich dann einfach nur meinte, okay, was sind denn die Gründe dafür, warum man so etwas möchte? Und da fallen mir nur wenige Sachen ein und die meisten sind einfach nicht gut. So, warum möchte man eine unerfahrene Partnerin? Da gibt es eine Möglichkeit, dass man sagt, okay, gut, das sind so vielleicht religiöse Vorstellungen von Reinheit. Okay, meinetwegen. Das sind Vorstellungen, die ich nicht teile und auch nicht teilen kann. Aber meinetwegen, wenn man das dann bei sich selber auch ähnlich sieht, okay, gut, kein Thema. Aber dann gibt es auch Leute, die einfach vielleicht unsicher sind, dass jemand anders schon mal besser gewesen sein könnte, wo ich mir denke, das ist völliger Schwachsinn, weil Sex mit jeder neuen Person wieder anders ist, aber auch wieder egal. So einfach dieser Vergleich mit anderen und dass das eine Unsicherheit verursacht, okay. Und dann gibt es leider auch einfach die sich eine wünschen, die man besser formen kann, die in einer Machtposition sein wollen. Und das hat ein ganz, ganz, ganz übles Geschmäckle. So nach dem Motto, auch unerfahren heißt ja meistens auch noch möglichst jung und sowas. Also eine Person, die nicht weiß, was ihr gefällt, die nicht unbedingt weiß, was sie will und dazu dann wahrscheinlich ein Typ, der schon Erfahrung hat. Da denke ich mir dann halt, das ist ein bisschen eklig. Jetzt nicht einfach die Kombination an sich, sondern dass man diese Situation herbeiführen will, in der man selbst in einer Machtposition über die andere ist. Das ist etwas, was ich problematisch finde. Aber ich habe dann halt einfach nur gesagt, okay, komm, es gibt so ein paar Gründe, aber halt nicht jeder Grund ist ein guter Grund. Und dann kommt so, ja, ich lese da nur, dass man jetzt wohl nur noch Frauen mit Bodycount von 1000 daten darf oder wie. Das habe ich an keiner Stelle gesagt. Warum legen Leute einem sowas dann in den Mund? Ich denke mir einfach nur, es gibt schlechte Gründe, eine unerfahrene Partnerin zu wollen. Boah, sind manche Leute drauf. Das kann ich nicht verstehen. Aber gut. Das möchte ich jetzt einfach nur kurz loswerden. Wo ich mir auch denke, okay, wenn du das daraus liest, dann solltest du nochmal lesen üben. Oh, verdammt. Das war eine Sache, die mich heute frustriert hat. Aber gut, reicht jetzt auch für heute. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Ich glaube, morgen wahrscheinlich nicht. Aber dann die Tage vermutlich. Kann sein, dass es mir dann die Woche dann wieder besser geht, dass ich auch Sport machen kann. Das heißt, dann werde ich wahrscheinlich wieder etwas weniger streamen, weil ich dann abends vielleicht in meinem Sport bin. Zumindest montags und mittwochs. Dienstags ist ja sowieso wieder Dungeons Dragons Stream. Da ist mal wieder Nico der Spielleiter. Das heißt, da müssen wir mal gucken, wie es da weitergeht. Und ansonsten müssen wir mal gucken. Also kann sein, dass ich Donnerstag wieder streame, Freitag. Mal gucken, je nachdem. Aber dann, bis zum nächsten Mal, Leute. Cheerio!